We got Smoke. 4, 3. We've got Ignition. 2, 1. We've got RIP Takeoff. We've got Liftoff. We've got RIP Takeoff. Hey, y'all, today, Justin Fields will lead the New York Jets to the promised land, baby. To the promised land. We got a poll. They're over under. I think this season was 5.5 or 6. So we're gonna break that down. Also, LeBron James has got a Ladal out there. He's got a Ladal. We got some great stuff to unpack, y'all. Please take this time to like, share, and subscribe out there. Show starts in about 3 minutes. We're gonna run some short videos, keep you entertained as we like, share, and repost this young link. Put it on your Facebook pages, whatnot. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do out there. And we got Karen back in the building. Big ups to Karen. Big ups to Jim too. Thanks for your service, bro. All right, y'all. Mouthpiece included.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
You're from Detroit, now you're in Chicago. How would you compare Detroit-style pizza with some of that Chicago deep dish?
Yeah, you can't go wrong with deep dish, 100%. Sausage, that's the way to go.
Sausage, not pepperoni.
Oh, yeah. Not
okay.
Pepperoni. No.
Which is?
Sausage.
Can I ask you which is better? Detroit, Chicago?
Chicago for sure.
Ah, there you go. Right answer.
And you want to be fast like Isaiah. You want to shoot like Bird. Rebound like Barkley. Pass like Magic. Be dominant like Shaq. But man, I wanted to be like Mike. You know what I mean? I remember the first time I played against him. And I walked out on the court and I looked at him. And for the first time in my life, a human being didn't look real to me.
I was very, very angry because I was learning about the history of what happened to us. And that's what Roots did to me. It brought a lot of those feelings out of me. And I became very disturbed by it. And I became very angry, and I started to retaliate in school. And it took my mother to come to me and tell me, it's a history, it's something that you should never forget, but you can rise above it and make an impact and make a change and make people aware of the pain that we have endured. But at first I was very disturbed by it, and I retaliated in some ways, violently. We used to go to other pools, and he would take me. And as soon as I get in the pool, they would get out of the pool. You don't forget your heritage, but you move forward in trying to make a better life for everyone. And that you always want to be viewed as a person. Reach back and pull someone with you.
That Ain't That Network. Everybody subscribe to That Ain't That Network, man. I'm telling you, those guys are putting some real conscious material out on YouTube. A lot of people aren't aware of their content, but these are some very smart people that's very conscience forward.
Hey bros, what's going on? This is Karmello. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
Hair is like the #1 thing for me. As you can see with the bun, like it's always done. The saying, you look good, you play good. I notice like when my bun gets knocked out, I literally like cannot. I probably shouldn't say that because people are probably going to try to knock out my bun. I could still
D-Wade sent us this, y'all.
Lock in with the undone bun, but I'm just saying you know, I prefer it not to get knocked out in the game. It's the best feeling when you have a good hair day, seeing is good, and then you have a game, there's like a 90% chance I'm gonna do good. So my hair has to be the same as much as possible. I know sometimes it's kind of unrealistic because we play so many games in a year. It's like, okay, you're not gonna get it perfect every time, but that's just the standard I hold myself to. Every game counts, and if the bun's good, the game's good.
You hear that,
He said he
D-Wade?
studied shark attack videos to think about angles that he could approach you at because you move so fast, and he thought that might help you. I mean, when you hear that, he broke a TV in his hotel room because he saw you had a good game and he
He
didn't.
broke you in his hotel room.
I
We know
just
that.
look at that as, yeah, that's Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, but he said you were the one. He didn't say I was obsessed with everyone in the league.
But
He didn't say I watched everyone else's game back till high school. He said it was you.
With Kobe, he was so different to where it was like, Phil, I want the assignment. You know what I mean? Take Fisher off him. I want the assignment.
He said he took the
I've never
bomb.
seen nobody as competitive like him, but Mike. That's it. Like when people talk about, you know, your favorite players or the best players in the world, you know, I say Mike and I say Kobe. You know what I mean? And then everybody else.
LeBron's after that for you?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely after that.
Maybe you look like me.
Has there been any talk in the offseason? I know that none of these coaches have gotten to work with any of the offensive line yet, but are you going to stay at right tackle? Has there been any talk about you moving over to left at some point?
Well, they said I was going to quarterback, but
Get the likes up. Air quotes say get the likes up.
We were having a discussion, and you guys have become bougie. You don't want two wins in the regular season.
Yeah, I don't want to win from that summer.
All right, I was watching. I forgot the show, but Danny Parkins was on there. He went on a national show, and at the end, he was like, he asked that dude, I think whose daughter was getting screwed by the video game and playing quarterback at Arizona.
Besides, and by the way, who do you think? You know, because they told me that I was coming on after Brady. Be honest. Who's more handsome? Me or Brady? Me or Brady?
Hey, listen,
Be honest.
The TV don't lie. Tom's good looking. I'm just going to tell you right there. He's pretty good looking.
All right, fine. I'll concede that one.
He's pretty good looking. Guy.
Oh man, Parkins started blushing. It was like if you asked Hugo about Donald Trump. He started blushing. He was like, "Well, Brady's handsome. He's handsome. Drop dead gorgeous." And you guys think we make all this up? You know what I mean? Yeah. No, drop dead gorgeous.
I've been wanting to talk to you, Shelly. Can you tell me why everyone is calling me Karen?
1 minute, Karen. 1 minute to show.
Don't worry about it.
Well, everybody keeps calling me Karen, and I don't get it. Is it like a joke or something?
Karen is a pejorative term for a white person who acts overly entitled and demanding.
Okay, well that's fucked up. Don't you think that's a little, like, sexist?
I didn't start it.
Well, who did?
The internet.
So now somebody is a Karen just because they want to be treated with some respect? I deserve to not have people walk all over me, okay? I have the right to call the cops when things happen.
That's fine, Karen.
May be unfortunate, hell. It may be a bit excessive even in his eyes. We're not rooting for you, brother. We're not rooting for you, brother. We're not rooting for you, brother.
Air quotes or not air quotes.
All right, what's up, NASCAR fans? I don't know about y'all, but this President Obama is pissing me off.
Bring a towel.
All right, let's go.
You need to dry off right away to avoid catching a cold. That's why Tally says, don't forget to bring a towel.
Don't forget to bring your mouthpiece.
Okay. Thanks, Tally. You want to get high?
All right, y'all. We in the building. Welcome back, Karen. We appreciate you. We need to get the music, please.
They're ignorant. That's ignorant.
Mouthpiece included. TATN, TATN, TATN. Better guard your grill. TATN, TATN, TATN. Mouthpiece included. TATN, TATN, TATN. Better guard your grill. TATN, TATN, TATN. Mouthpiece included. TATN, TATN, TATN. Better guard your grill. TATN, TATN, TATN. Mouthpiece included. TATN, TATN, TATN. Better guard your grill. TATN, TATN,
TATN. 100. Better guard your grill. Pull up. Better bring your mouthpiece. Prayerfully, Shady McCoy will pull up someday. It'll be magnanimous. Welcome to Mouthpiece Included. This is the pod where we talk about Spolitricks, spots, and everything in between found in the superposition prior to you guys' conscious observation. Welcome to today's deep dive into the stories that power the world of sports. Today we're going to dip into a sizzling blend of spots and culture as we break down how quarterback, maligned copper-colored quarterback JF1, the son of 12. That's a good title to a show. Yeah, JF1, the son of 12, might be the catalyst to lead the Jets into their high-flying promised land. And we're going to be unraveling the buzz behind the effeminate, in my opinion, the extremely effeminate, in my mind. You know, I'm a dinosaur. I've been called a dinosaur, and it's fine. I'm going to have a picture of a dinosaur on my tombstone, and it's going to say, meditate daily. That's for everyone to remember, should something happen and I wake up from this dream state. That all being said, this isn't the self-love show. We're going to keep it right here, 100. Big ups to the self-love show and all of its supporters. So we're going to unravel the buzz behind that extremely effeminate, in my opinion, LaDow, LeBron's Ken Dow. Plus, we're going to be dishing out our no-holds-barred takes on this week's hottest sports and political stories. Did LeBron get a piece of the company? You know? Did he just take the check? What's that deal look like? Buckle up. It's time to cut through the noise and get to the unfiltered TATN truth. Because if you think you've caught Fox or ESPN, this ain't that. Okay? This ain't that network. The panel is extremely open for anybody who still has their gonads, okay, or basketballs to come here and speak their unfiltered truth out there. I understand. We're all compromised in one way, shape, or fashion or the other. You know, maybe you don't want the children to see you speak your truth, or maybe it's a significant other out there. You know what I mean? It could be all types of factors involved. Corporate. Oh, big corporate. You know, the master. You can't come out there like Pat McAfee and speak your truth. The master ain't going to let you do that. Big ups, Pat McAfee. He's a friend of Stephen A. Smith's. And who's a copper-colored. And as a black man, Stephen A. Smith has the right to speak for everybody who is black. All right. Once again, the panel is open. The link is pinned in the chat. Pull up. Or if you don't have the gonads, you know, maybe, you know, somebody FaceTimes you. You don't have your makeup on. You haven't moistened your lips, pulled it out of your mousse. And, you know, you don't want to answer the FaceTime because you don't want anybody to see you and without your mask on. That's fine. Pull up. I mean, don't pull up. Then type your stuff into the chat. The algorithm loves it. You know, because we feel like we may or may not be being suppressed around here. All right. So stand down. Stand back. Stand by. or pull up. But if you do pull up, don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. Yeah. All right. Quick disclaimer: the views expressed in today's pod are those of the host, anybody with the gonads to pull up, and not necessarily reflective of TATN or any of our affiliates. Big ups to Gym Recovery. All right. Gym Recovery. You know, you might find yourself in a pinch. You're out there on the south side. You know, you come out a little hole in the wall night spot. You know, might have been sipping on bourbon and listening to Steppers jams, you know, and they're playing bid whist. You know what I mean? Half sleep, grandkids at home, suffering, whatever the case might be. You know, maybe you drank too much. You can call Gym Recovery. He's got a program out there. He'll come out there, put your whip up on the flatbed. You can sit in your whip. I don't think that's legal, but you can sit next to Jim. You can sit next to Jim himself, and he can get you home and your whip home, right? In one little shebang. You don't catch that DUI, and you don't come back around after taking the ride share the next morning and find out that some Pookie, Ray Ray, or somebody from Venezuela may or may not have smashed out your window, rummaged through your personal effects, and taken whatever petty change or whatever you had up in the whip. All right. And then, of course, there's Midwest festivals. Big ups to Midwest festivals. We got Ancestral Echoes coming up. Support your brothers. Support yourself. Tune back in. We shall win. Yeah. It's an experience of human consciousness. The universe was started from a vibration, a sound, and we've been connecting with the ancestors and summoning things that are happening out there. You don't have to believe me. You have to be there to experience it. Okay. Last and certainly not least, we got Bella B Designs 365 at Gmail. That's Bella BELLA BEE Designs 365 at gmail.com. If you want to get you some swag, support the channel, you know what I mean? You know, reach out, rotate that money. You're spending the money anyway. Find somebody that looks like you know what I mean? To spend it with. All right. You know what I mean? Because they don't respect you. You know? They don't respect you. All right, enough of my yapping. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. We got Big Ace in the building, Jackie Robinson's finest, Southside representative. You know what I mean? LEO is in the building.
Mighty Leo. TATN, what's up, family?
TATN.
Mouthpiece included. I'm here.
Perennial Dad of the Year nominee. You know, and he's like Yoki. They can give it to him every year. He's like Michael Jeffrey John. You know, they can give it to him every year, but it's not fair to the other fathers. You know what I mean?
There's plenty of great dads out there, and I'm glad to be amongst a lot of them roaming around these baseball fields in the city of Chicago, and basketball, gyms, and just being in safe and learning environments for kids. So yeah, it's great to see all the dads that aren't supposed to be in our households, but there are plenty of dads out there doing what they can for the youth of the copper-coated people in America, no matter what the propaganda says. And shout out to all those dads I see out on the circuits everywhere I go.
Well, we actually, along those lines, bro, we covered that on the Self-Love show. The copper-colored dad is actually the most, it's not even close, involved dad. You know, with Satan, the Satan intended for evil always turns out good. What does that mean? All right, so you want to put people in situations where maybe they're not as gainfully employed as the other people who work all the time, then they can't be around their children. So now what's happening, since you want to get all the women out there and give them all the opportunities and run them out in front for double DEI credit, you know what I mean? It's a double DEI, you know what I mean? And we could pay her shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now the fathers are more involved. And I tell you what, in my mind, bro, that's just the glory of God, bro.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If you think about it, we're in the community.
Boots on the ground, baby.
Yeah.
going to the stove, in the dough, running around looking for FOMO. We trying to do what we can, take care of our community and our families, and and stay alive. So, these are lessons, not lectures, that we got to teach our youth about being young men, young ladies, and surviving in this land of milk and honey. So, shout out to all the dads
and the youth. If you're listening, work to be mindful and keep your composure out there. Your composure is a gift. We sat with a guy. He was 16. He said the old heads used to tell him, when he was out there hustling. He was 16. And he said, I wasn't listening to none of them. He's like, I got more money than them. They can't tell me nothing. And then in Indiana, bro, and then caught they tried him as an adult.
Oh, in Indiana, absolutely.
And gave him natural life. It was on a murder, which was, I don't know, self-defense, whatever.
It don't matter. It's Indiana. They're going to get the hooks in you.
Oh, yeah. But he got out there, bro, and he said since he was there, now he was listening to the old heads. And they was telling him, bro, like, that one little second, you know what I'm saying, got you in here for the rest of your life, bro. And he was like, man, I wish I had just listened to the old heads when I was out there swaggering. He wouldn't have had to go through that.
Tried to told him.
Yeah, they ended up letting him out, I think, after 16. Big ups to him. Because they changed the laws and he was a minor and all of this and that. Yeah. All right, we got the poll question here. You're a minor, Ace. They're gonna try you as an adult. But then at the same time, you can't decide, who you have sexual relations with.
You can't.
But your brain is developed. But
you can't do this. You can't do that. You
can't rent a car. But we're gonna try you as an adult.
Yeah.
You
run you through our corrupted justice system and put your hands in your life in the hands of a prosecutor and a defense attorney that has no interest in you at all.
Yeah, 100%. And then when you do get out, 10-year probation, and you know what I mean, and you already got the copper skin, and good luck with that. They pull you over. They might be in the KKK, and they see that you got that.
We don't know what's in their hearts.
Oh yeah, you're on probation. Blah blah blah. Yeah. All right. Here we got it. We got this right here. Will the Jets win 6 or more games this season with JF1 at the helm? Their over/under, when I pulled it up, was 5.5 games this year. I want to say this would be more wins than the drop dead gorgeous smart Aaron Rodgers matriculated last season. Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's done.
So far, bro, 83% of the respondents say absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, we'll talk about it later, but he's got a coach that seemingly believes in him. So
yes, and if you guys want to vote on that poll, I just dropped the link in the chat. Go ahead, Ace. What was you saying?
Yeah, I mean, that was a big part of what was going on here. Lack of belief in JF1 from the organization. And
they didn't want to pay him.
Yeah.
We had copper colored people come right on this show and say they don't want to give that brother his money.
We don't want to pay. We don't want to give him no $30 million for 2 years.
No, he got to get 40. The going rate. You see how much money Pat Mahomes is getting? I'm saying he's a bum, and we're gonna still have to pay him. What is this?
I mean, he was a third-year quarterback with nobody around him, no help, no offensive line, just got a receiver, just got a tight end, no running back help. Well, come on, man.
And to let him go for a conditional 6th-round pick because you don't want, because why?
Controversy.
And the fans loved him.
We don't want no competition in the quarterback room. We don't want any controversy. We've moved on. We've moved on. Yeah.
Yeah, we've moved off him. Could have easily been there and counseling this young buck, going through they said I held the ball like that too, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Better stop holding that ball. Massa
you don't want to take them sacks, man.
Massa don't like it when you playing that Negro ball.
But he would, that young buck wouldn't have been playing. So that was the controversy they didn't want to have, because he wouldn't be Justin Fields out, I don't think, to start the season. And even if it matriculated into a situation that they had in Pittsburgh where you had two quarterbacks and you end up sitting one down because you wanted to take a look at the other one for whatever reason, if JF1 didn't continue from the previous season he had of 7 wins, which he did in Pittsburgh, he could have did in Chicago with his team, his guys, his city, his fans.
Would have been 8, but they didn't want to let him play against Carolina.
Yeah. So if you didn't want that situation, why would you just put this young guy out there, your generational quarterback, to go out there and get his brains beat in when you still had JF1 under contract for another year at $5 million?
You could have hit him with the same kind of contract the Jets just hit him with.
Yeah, man, come on.
And you know what I mean?
Yeah, they love Tyson Bagent so much. They figured that we can go out and get our generational quarterback and we'll be fine with Secret Bagent, man.
Well, you said it, bro. You said it. You said my only concern going into that season was that we don't have any veteran leadership in that quarterback room.
Yeah. So, we're going to throw everything at him. He understands everything. Our system is everything. He's fine. He's ready to go. He's good to go. We're playing 2 preseason games, and he'll be ready for the NFL regular season.
And no one here is saying Bilbo Bajan is a company plant, assistant company plant. He's under the tutelage. He's Komet's mentoring Bajan to report directly to management and walk around the locker room with hidden cameras looking at everybody's bum.
Bilbo Bajan is developing. He's
allegedly.
Allegedly. Well, he's on the juice. It looks like he's been on the deer antler spray, or he's been working out, but whatever. He's developing as a quarterback coming from a Division II school, and he could have been our number 3, or he could have been a number. Yeah, he would definitely been number 3.
He never said one positive word about Justin Fields when he was playing behind him. That's part of the backup quarterback's job.
Yeah, well, he wanted him to be hurt. He wanted to play, and him and Plant Komet, I think like you said, they were on the same page, and unfortunately, it led to Justin's demise because they were in cahoots with the general manager who didn't believe in Justin, had his bum tickled for a generational quarterback that was coming in the draft, and he knew what he wanted to do. He knew he didn't want to help Justin. He knew he didn't want to win. So why go getting players if you don't want to win? And you can just reset your general manager contract clock. By getting a generational quarterback in the upcoming draft. So.
And went on that rookie deal. Yeah, it's all about winning on a quarterback rookie deal. That's the hot things that the guys who never laced up in the media start talking about. Got to win.
The analytics.
Yeah, the analytics.
Analytics guys. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We got to win. We got to save the team money. These teams are making money hand over fist. They're owned by billionaires, and you wanna save them money by winning on a rookie damn deal. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck with that. And we're going to get to it because Aaron Glenn, I think he's smarter than average Barry. He looked at the history of how they do copper-colored coaches. Now, y'all not going to run me in here and then get me some rookie, and I got to deal with a rookie, and then when that rookie's brother ready to start flipping that ball around, you get rid of me.
Fire me. You put me on the first thing smoking? No.
I think, maybe that's why dude let him go. The coach at Pittsburgh. Maybe he was like, man, I'm going to help you out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to come in here with a veteran quarterback or your days are numbered.
Yeah.
Not unless you're a quarterback guru or something.
Yeah. Well, you got to be pink.
As far as I know. All right.
Oh, okay.
Rest in peace to the twin. We're going to cover a serious topic. Condolences to the family. This is the Karmello Anthony alleged stabbing incident at the track meet. Now, when this story came out, Karmello Anthony, he spells that with a K, was sitting in a tent, I think he was there at he's a track runner, and he's just sitting in a tent. It's raining.
Training tent, protecting from the elements. Yeah.
And when this first came out, well, let's just go into it first. So all right, he's sitting in the tent, and then the two twins come in, and well, the first thing I saw was the dad, and I don't know what's in the dad's heart, but I tell you, when I looked at him, I said he's a racist bully, in my opinion. I was listening to the dad's first, you know what I mean? Yeah, my son is tough, and he went in. Your son's dead. You know what I mean? It just told me a mentality. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I'm not blaming the victim, because who is the victim? And now, I've said it on the show. I think I said it on the Self-Love show. Man, you be in those locker rooms, bro. Some of these pinks and the whites, bro. I had a young kid, a young girl tell me the other day that I forgot what they call it in high school. They all get in circles at the parties, bro, and wink their winkers. Bro, this is what the football players are doing, bro. Yes, but they're not copper colored, because if they're copper colored, their lives would be ruined and they'd be thrown in jail.
Yeah.
So even back in the 90s, bro, in the late 80s, bro, these cats be trying to, they got a way that they bully, and they don't realize, man, look, where I live, somebody, you understand?
Yeah, but they don't come from those communities. They come when in cornfields, or everything's nice, and the trees are lined with gold. And
bully and put hands on everybody and walk.
Yeah. He's the quarterback. He's a linebacker. Yeah, you don't mess with him.
And we could throw hands, right? But it's two twins.
Yeah, Dad's probably 12, or he was the linebacker for the high school, or he ran, it was former athlete for the school 25 years ago, and
we got some information on the dad. So there's a network on YouTube. We're gonna run it.
All right.
To your point, he came off to me like, for lack of a better term, I don't know, can we say pink trash? I think the algorithm isn't aware.
Yeah,
and this is not for any white people out there who aren't racist, right? Right. We're talking about the pigs. Can we say that? I don't want anybody who's white to think that this is a whole blanket conversation here.
No, some of my best friends are white.
Yeah, there's trailer trash type situation. There's and we all love everybody. You know what I mean? There's just different situations here and there, and these might be the deplorables that Hillary Clinton was talking about. That's how he came off, and so they did some research on him, bro. And the dad is not even with the wife. He came out and I forgive him, and God talked all that about God. I didn't see nothing spiritual. No, couldn't even feel it in his work. When I first saw it, I was like, I smell a rat.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So the media was ahead, showing the family and just demonizing this young man here, Karmello Anthony, how synchronicity is, the Karmello Anthony we just covered is going into the Hall of Fame about the same time this is happening.
Yeah.
I mean, coincidence?
Algorithm.
Yeah, the universal algorithm. All right, now, here's the thing. The dad, bro, you mentioned him, was convicted of a essay of Roethlisberger.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and so the wife, he's not even with the wife. They tried to sell it like, oh, it's this family, and then they said the other twin grabbed his brother and was trying to hold the blood in, and it was like I was watching an episode of what's the Vietnam movies? Name any of them. But so far, what's your take?
Ryan.
Yes, that's it. Well, Pink Ryan. What's your take on this so far?
Well, I mean, it's unfortunate that the young man lost his life, but the bullying has to stop. The position that they put these athletes in based on color, based on classism, based on ignorance, it shouldn't come to the point where someone has to lose their life. If the dad is a SA pulling Roethlisberger's, then probably the mentality, unfortunately, he was bringing the kids up with was, yeah, they rule the world. Unfortunately, you don't. You don't. Um, I was, what I was looking. I was.
They're
I saw,
ignorant.
All right, my bad. I just,
yes, they are. I saw a reel this morning about In Living Color, and it wasn't about Living Color. It was about Heavy D and the theme song he did for Living Color, and and you hear you heard the lyrics, and listening to it, it was about how this world should get along. Everybody should get along. We should be working together to get along in living color. And it really didn't. It
I've
really struck
never
me.
listened to any of those lyrics. Now I got to do some research. I didn't even know it was Heavy D. Rest in peace, Heavy D.
Yeah, it was Heavy D, and just to see it, I mean, he was out there dancing and doing
Yeah,
the Heavy D thing. But
he
if
sure
you
was.
listen to the lyrics, it was before its time. Well, the whole show was before its time. But just listen to the lyrics when you get an opportunity for In Living Color, and it tells you how 30 years ago, 40 years ago, it was a precursor of us trying to live together, work together as people of different colors, and here we are in 2025, and a young man has to defend himself against a damn teammate.
Well,
what a knife.
Well, yeah. All right. So now, without speaking to the brothers' family, the media is depicting the way they laid it out there, bro. And let's see if air quotes will put something together.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I smelled a rat from the beginning. It was so. Here's the thing. It was like they came in and calmly asked him. They had never seen him before, and they just calmly asked this savage young student, hey, you're not supposed to be in this tent. They said football players. They said nothing about these guys are on the track team.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are just bullying. You can color it what you want. They're running around
Right.
bullying. You mentioned 12. Their father probably wasn't 12, but I guarantee you after high school, these kids would probably became 12.
Oh, absolutely.
The one who held him, he's definitely going to be 12.
Mm-hmm.
The twin, oh yeah, he's gonna be he's gonna
he's gonna be a son of a gun.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, he's gonna be he shouldn't psychologically, they shouldn't even let him do it. All right, but anyway, but he fits the 12 profile because they run around there like 12. What are you doing in this tent? You're not supposed to be in this tent. It's deeper, bro. Some of this I'm getting from Ether. But they were saying the twin lied allegedly and said that they had never seen this guy before. That was a lie. So the brother, the father's brother, I mean the young homeboy's brother is coming out, and he's saying no, that wasn't the first time they've seen each other. Now, what I'm getting from Ether is this young copper color was over there at the track meet hollering at those pink girls, the pink toes.
Well, I mean,
right?
That's community lived in. I mean,
but he was supposed to be in if he was there for the track event for the meet.
Yeah,
these kids weren't. So what you're painting is, I'm on the basketball team. Me and Illa, all the guys say me and Illa, we on the basketball team. It's a track meet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just flipping it. There's a pink guy, on the Eisenhower side, sitting over there hollering at the copper colored girls. Me and Illa come over there, and man, bro, you ain't supposed to be over here. And then, he just savagely pulls out a knife and kills me. And then, oh no, Illa's holding me up. Yeah. That's how they painted it.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, it's not that simple, and that wasn't the story.
No, allegedly, this had happened before. Even they said that's what happened. Now, the brother's version, who's still being held in jail for some reason, he said, and there's witnesses coming out now, and supposedly there's a tape. Man, they had stuffed on his phone. They took, they pulled him up. They broke his phone, and some allegedly happened before at a meet. So, he told them, put your hands on me and see what happened. Go ahead, fella.
He's trying to defend himself. I mean, he was backed into a corner. I mean, unfortunately for him, he might have been in a community where he really was a minority, or a team that he is a minority, and he fell backed into a corner because of previous situations that he probably went through with these same set of twins, and it unfortunately came to a head. And he had to defend himself, and that's what he did. So hopefully justice will prevail, and enough attention will get on the story where he's released, and then the community can move on, because it is what it is. If it was self-defense, it's self-defense.
Well, white society is butthurt. I just tell you, man, this algorithm, as you call it, it's a trip, bro. So the white society is butthurt, bro. And because well, they're butthurt because Anthony is getting a lot of support, financial support for his defense, right? And when guys like Rittenhouse, Cal Shittenhouse, he was 17 carrying a gun, federally outlawed until age 18.
Wow.
This brother, it turns out, was on the track team, was being recruited by colleges. Good kid. I mean, ace, this could be.
Yeah.
He was an A student, bro. None of this A student, everything. No record, never had been anything with the police ever.
Speaking of, you just alluded to that minute decision, but this is from a good kid who was just backed into a corner, and the decision that he made was to defend himself. End up killing this bully that was bullying him.
And I feel like this was a racially charged bully attack. Is
Absolutely.
what I'm feeling. Now, I don't have any proof of that, so I'm saying this is just my, speculation. But look at this here, fella. All right. Was attacked after warning attackers he would defend himself. Was attacked after warning attackers he would shoot. Killed 2, 1 injured. Killed 1. Raised $586,940 from conservatives from legal defense. Conservatives want legal defense. You hear this, Corch? You like it. Conservatives want his legal defense shut down or legally garnished.
Legally garnished. That's not even American.
Well, it was American. Well, correct. Acquitted for self-defense. Conservatives want heaviest legal sentence. He's right now being charged with murder 1. Your kid goes, you're at work, your kid's at a track meet, sitting there talking to some babes in the other team. He's at where he's supposed to be.
Where he's supposed to be. Yeah.
And they're telling him, you can't tell me that's not bullying. Ace, imagine if you was at St. Ignatius and you sitting in a tent and 2 guys coming up, and this is the second time. And if it was racially charged, what are you doing over here? And, and he was talking, probably his girl, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's so much more to the story for the media to jump out there and demonize this guy to the point where they're trying to hang him. It's going to be so hard to get a jury for Karmello Anthony.
Oh yeah, especially in that community. Well, that'll be part of the legal defense forum for a change of venue, because there's no way in that area that he'll be able to get a fair trial. And man, if we need a powerful attorney to come in and just try and get this kid out based on the law, based on his age, based on the circumstances, and then you can go into defending it in court when the time comes.
And they're trying him as an adult. I forgot to add that. Good kid.
Trying him as an adult for self-defense.
Yes, Cal Shittenhouse was none of this.
Right. Yeah.
Man, he's drop-dead gorgeous.
Drop-dead gorgeous.
You know what I mean? Smart.
Defending his American rights.
Yeah, walking around with it. Yeah.
He'd have been right there on July 6th, running up to the Capitol with his AR-15.
Now, here's what I find interesting too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of people in that tent. It should be a lot more information out there. Maybe they've been sequestered by law enforcement. I don't know, but you know what I mean? There's witnesses to this.
And I'm sure there were some adults in that tent.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't have a tent for a sporting event where you got high school athletes and there's not one adult present that can mediate this situation. Or they've probably seen it before and seen these kids bullying before and just haven't done anything because
and the mom keeps referring to him, to the colored boy, as boy, you know.
Yeah.
That boy. Yeah, I'd be the defense, like, and she knows he's a boy. You know what I mean? Her mom knows, but why is she in here saying she's called him boy all the time? Why is she in here saying try him as an adult? This is you, right, ma'am? You're right.
Yeah, it's you all over the media.
Yeah, he's a boy, right? Or did you mean that racially?
No, I meant it racially. We don't know what's in our heart.
No further questions. No, you may step down. No further questions. You know, that's in my closing arguments. You know what I mean? This kid was racially raised. You know what I mean?
Did I say that out loud? I was like, yeah, wait a minute. Let me.
No, you can step down. No.
Let me talk to the prosecutor. Told me that. Wait a minute.
Yeah, they told me I wouldn't have to answer these questions.
I wouldn't have to say all this. And I don't mean to make light of the situation, but come on, man. This is, it's another case of the legal system being not fair. And we know historically it hasn't been. So, there's no way you should be holding this young man as an adult and trying him as an adult.
In Texas, that's very known for stand your ground, for self-defense.
Stand your ground. Yes.
Yeehaw!
Yeah. So.
But those rules don't apply when it's a copper color applying that same energy to them.
No, we gotta prove that we was standing ground for self-defense. We gotta prove we were supposed to be where we're supposed to be.
That's
we
what I'm
gotta
saying.
prove that we were just jogging in the neighborhood and looking around and trying to get some exercise. We gotta prove that
if the victims was a Pookie and
not
a Ray
murder
twin,
one.
If the victims were twins, Pookie and Ray Ray, right? Say Pookie and Ray Ray walk into that tent, drop dead gorgeous young high school kid sitting there. He's where he's supposed to be. He runs track 4.0. The media would have had this whole story totally different.
But the adults in the tent would have intervened.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Pookie and Ray Ray going back in that damn tent again. The police would already been on their ass. That's Pookie and Ray Ray. Kicked them off the team. Yeah. You're right, man. This is diabolical, bro. This runs so deep.
So it's just a matter of delving into the facts of the case, and unfortunately, this young man is suffering. If he's still incarcerated, awaiting a bond or trial.
Yeah, last I heard he was. I'll double check it, but go ahead.
Just delving into the facts of the case and proving, what's going to come out in the end, that it was self-defense. He was being bullied. There's no reason to try him as an adult. And you got to get some outside eyes and ears and justice in to help him with this case.
Hey, me and Reese, bro, it was lifelong law enforcement. We were having a conversation about not this case, but just
shout out to Reese, man. I saw he came up to my job one day, and I was hollering at him for a minute, man.
Yeah,
I love that
guy. Yeah. He's a well groomed. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's done great for himself. Yeah, super proud of him. We were talking about when that little girl, the young girl, got slammed by the big lummox out here in California, slammed her into the desk. And but we were talking about that, and he was just saying, like, which I ultimately always agree with. Hey, somebody comes up and spits in your face, they don't get to dictate what your response is going to be. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
You're gambling that, okay, this guy won't pull out a knife and stab me in the chest, or he won't pull out a gun and shoot me, right?
Yeah.
If I grab him and break his phone and try to drag him, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
bro?
You've entered into the tenets of war or a duel or you
He's
put
defending
yourself
himself by any means necessary.
Absolutely. So unfortunately you believe that the worst that could happen is, you might get into some fisticuffs or, a shouting match, but
You and your brother, you and your twin get to beat him up in front of all the girls.
Yeah, but unfortunately some people's rules of engagement are different.
Some people's spirits don't allow it, bro.
Yeah, and once you enter into these rules of engagement, then the outcome isn't. Sometimes it's not what you think it's going to be, and it is what it is.
So you have to ask yourself, if it's true that they had some sort of altercation in the past. If that is true, this is according to his brother. What do you expect?
I mean, the lies are going to come out. I've seen pictures on the internet that they've taken together. So, the lies that they've never met this guy or
that
had
was
no
the
idea.
twin saying,
Yeah, come on. We
just calmly walked into the tent and just asked him, well, hey, what are you supposed to do? That's not your job.
Yeah. And we don't get down like that.
That's not your job.
Right. If you got nothing to say to us, we ain't got nothing to say to you. So yeah. So
is the school board, is that okay with the school board? These kids get to just walk around and be the security and bullying everybody. The Bloods and Crips couldn't do that. Big ups to the Bloods and Crips at the local high school. What are you doing over here? You know what I mean?
And they would provide security if they were called upon to do so. But
they would. Be some damn good security.
Yeah, but to have your young Kyle Rittenhouse is running around asking, are you supposed to be here? I got my AR-15 outside
exactly.
in the car, or I got me and my twin, and there's some other guys waiting outside the tent to get you out of here.
And my dad is probably playing with my bum at night, trying to make me a tougher bully, allegedly. I'm not making light of it.
Yeah, but it is what it is, and yeah, man, come on, man. We just unfortunately, it's just going to be a time frame of young Karmello is going to have to face to get past this, and there's really no way to expedite it.
Facts. All right, look. All right, this is Introvert Rockstar. He's the person who broke this. Fair use, y'all.
Fair use.
Can you see it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm going to skip to a certain part, though.
All right.
Hey, TikTok. I told you that when I came back, I would share some information with.
When you caught that SA charge, indicate that kids are on senseless acts of violence. And he said, same energy, all that, all in her face. Why does she hate you?
I don't know if there's a right or a wrong.
This is Fox. This is what Coach is watching all night.
This other young man.
Day and night.
Mm-hmm.
Last night.
Watch this. It's incredible. Look at the fake tears.
I just saw his soul leave and it took my soul too.
I'm so sorry.
You think he's
I'm going to ask you one last question.
He's wearing a cross while he's bullying?
With your husband.
No.
Who I can hear in the side, by the way. I think he's there in the room with you. I saw an interview last night. Okay. Someone else.
You see, okay. Who shushed who? Hold it.
Okay.
Yeah. You see that?
Yeah.
Wow, he's shushing her.
Yeah.
This is psychological, people.
Yeah.
He shushed his mom.
By the way, I think he's there in the room with you. I saw an interview last night. Okay.
See, she was about to say, "No, we're not together." That's that's the black guy I've been sleeping with. The reason I don't know what's going on. I'm alleging some stuff, but this is Fox. So are they? All right.
It's all going to come out. It doesn't matter what he's. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all right. She's got the Warriors of Michigan. Okay. That's it.
Someone else. Yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
What did he say?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Someone else. Yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But I have seen interviews with your husband in the last 24 hours, and it was remarkable.
See, it's not her husband anymore. You see her face, and why can't she just say, "Hey, look," you know what I'm saying?
She knows he's an asshole in a Roethlisberger. So come on.
Why don't she just say he's not my husband anymore? We haven't been married since the sexual assault, or just say, you know, we're divorced, or whatever the case might be. This is weird.
Well, to me, that I heard your husband say within
maybe they're separated
hours of this, that he forgave this other young man, and he got there so quickly. And
man, that shit was.
I honestly don't know that I could, and I just want to see.
He don't know if he could. Do you hear this, devil?
He doesn't even know the circumstances of anything, and he doesn't know if he could have forgave the young man.
And he's on the media. Is he trying to incite some sort of race riot?
Well, yeah. I mean, he was a January 6th, so you know, he was happy all of them got off.
Yeah, he was licking the poop off the wall. Maybe after they were, and you come behind after you're gonna lick the poop off the wall. Okay, and then I get the job at Fox. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I recommend you.
Allegedly. TATN.
And I don't know if there's a right or wrong place to be, especially as quickly as this has happened. Megan, how do you feel on that front today?
What they're setting up is a big trial. This young man's going to go free. And then all the pink stink can come out and start rubbing poops on the wall and doing stuff.
Yeah, especially at Fox.
Then they can have clout chasing. Then everybody talks about it in the media. And everybody makes money off our pain once again.
Today.
I am not like their dad. I am so angry at that boy.
At the boy.
She's angry.
And then they'll put a GoFundMe or whatever fund together for the family, and they'll be able to move out of the trailer, whatever the hell they're living in, and move on after the trial.
I'm just saying this line of questioning, bro, is to incite a race riot.
Yeah, well, it always is.
Who does that? Okay.
You know,
say a young man gets shot on 73rd and Narragansett. They don't put his mom on national TV and then say, you know, your husband forgave the shooter, you know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, how about him dead? His ops and dead homies. You know what I mean? Oh, God, y'all better, you know. That's basically what she's... Bro, I don't see it handled like this. You know what I mean? Like, hey, no comment. Something, some grace, something. This is incredible, bro.
George Floyd was shot over a $20 bill. Now, he probably might have known or didn't know that
pass it to him.
Yeah,
I'm
happens every day.
Yeah, I don't work at the U.S. Man, I didn't know this bill was fake, officer. You know what I mean? What's your badge number?
Kneeled on for 8 minutes by some cop. 12 that we know what's in his heart.
Yeah, it was all psychological. Kneel before Zod. Look at this.
Damn, son, why does she hate you so much? Soon as that news reporter said husband, look at her face. Her face, all those fake tears, they dried up. She got angry. You could see it all in her face.
Angry.
Why does she hate you that much? Make it make sense. Now, this is what you call real dysfunction. And ain't it crazy how racist Caucasian people, they always love to stereotype black people. But in reality, they are more dysfunctional than us. Yeah.
We've been saying it for years.
Yeah, they know how to hide it.
Go ahead, bro.
She knows how the dad is raising those damn those twins she had. Yeah, she knows exactly what he's spewing into that. That's why she divorced him.
And he was probably putting hands on her, allegedly, probably, in my opinion, I'm thinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So he had to go.
Yeah, and I don't know the details. Let's see if they get into the details of it.
Because the kids apparently they were living with her. Because you know we got the news this interview with the mother and son.
I've never seen the dad with the mother. Okay, if they're together, come on, bro. That's what you're together. You're standing there and you're making a statement together, or you're not making any statement.
Yeah, he's got his funeral suit on, so I don't think they're together.
Well, but don't be fooled. And see, on my channel, I love keeping that same energy. All that I'm deep in my faith, super
This he's showing ain't even the first interview, bro. He was out there yapping the first day, and I'm oh boy. Next week I'll have it tuned up and show y'all my first. And I was like, oh, it's something. I didn't even know the other dude was black. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but something sounds funny about this story.
Super religious BS. It doesn't work on me. I see right through it. Also, in this interview, you took slick shots at Karmello's parents. Let's read. This man said maybe parents can educate their kids on senseless acts of violence. And he said,
oh, yeah, that's what he came out and was talking about in the first interview I saw, too. And I'm looking at him like, boy, you raised two bullies.
Yeah.
I would be very upset at my sons doing something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Now, you out there with a T-shirt on saying faith over fear. If that's what you were really teaching your young men, there's no way they're out there bullying a kid to
get
the
out
point
the
that,
tent.
yeah.
The track tent that you're not even on the track team.
Yeah.
And Marcellus Wiley came out and said it, bro. We should have got Brother Patterson up here. He came out and said it too. He said, man, at a track event, you're there all day, you know, and then they call out and he's like, it's normal for us to be under different tents. He's like, it's a community. Like they know each other. You know what I'm saying? So he's talking, it might not even been his girl. And then you got two bullies off the football team coming over here. It probably wasn't the first time, you know?
Yeah, it wasn't the first time these two meatheads probably tried to bully him.
Put hands on him.
Yeah.
Stomping on his phone and stuff.
Otherwise, you know, why is he armed?
Correct.
You know, if it's the first time, you know, he's not walking around that community armed.
Bingo.
But, you know, if you bullied him before, he's got to defend himself. Yeah.
Bingo. His honor. And his brain's not developed. None of these, according to our science.
They're used. Come on, the kids.
None of their brains are developed fully, but yet, you know, he
you
can't
try him
defend
as an adult.
Yes. Yes. In Texas. He appears to be standing his ground against these guys are not little kids either. You know what I mean? They're big enough football team.
Yeah.
You know, let's try to act like you dropped the gorgeous.
It starts at home. What you mean, senseless acts of violence? Your sons, your twins are bullies. What you mean? It starts at home. What home? That woman, your ex-wife, left you when you caught that SA charge. What you mean? It starts at home. Make it make sense. And see, it's two things that racist Caucasian people and
look at the coon
have in common. They always try to manipulate you with their super religious talk. Or my faith is deep. I trust in God. It's all fake. It's all cap. They do that on purpose to manipulate you. And then they try to act perfect, like they have no flaw, like they just God's gift to earth. But in reality, it's the whole. They don't want stuff like this to get out. Run the tape.
This way, okay. Here we go.
In 2011, Jeffrey Metcalf was arrested for SA. Those twins was 4 years old at the time.
Playing with the bums?
Shortly after that, the mother, Megan, packed up those fucking twins and got the fuck out of that house. Let's put the blame on him. Let's blame him for his son not being here.
He come out there and talk about parenting. He ain't even in the house.
We need to shift focus.
Yeah, he probably went to jail.
I don't mind dragging a Metcalf through the fucking mud if I could save Karmello.
Yeah, he probably went to jail and got in there running his mouth.
And got his,
stuff. Go ahead. Got his bum
got his bum ruptured.
Matriculated.
Yeah.
Matriculated his bum. It was probably some pellets, you know, because he ran his mouth.
Yeah, and then by the time he got out, he was
But he had to join the white supremacy then, because all they told him is we got to matriculate your bum before you can join.
He doesn't.
And he refused it. You know what I mean? He went out there on his own. He was speaking his racisms on his own. Nobody had his back, and then the brothers matriculated his bum, probably.
No, his bum got matriculated, but then he probably told me he realized that he had no help with anybody, so he went and joined the Catholic division of the prison there. And when he came out, that's what he wanted to spew. But the kids were already gone. I mean, the kids had no interest in whatever he was spewing at that time, except for being they had to get it from the mother, or they had to get it from the people they were hanging out with. So yeah.
Now lessons not lectures. I worked once for a company, the not the GM, I'd say the office manager, right? He had done some time in Stateville, small. And his bum was matriculated forcibly by his copper-colored roommate, and and now he's out there managing copper-colored people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to do some kind of psychological profile. I mean,
I'm just saying
it definitely happens. Yeah. And it might not be them. It might be a relative. It might be a sister. It might be a cousin. But they want to right the world and the position of authority that they get. So even just raising their youths to right the world on the wrong that they face allegedly.
Yeah, it's generational.
Yeah,
karma don't stop in this realm.
No,
I'm working a theory, bro. If you're like a racist white man, your next time on this earth, you're gonna be a Shaquita out there, right in the projects.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
You're gonna be a Shaquita out there, right in the projects. You know what I'm saying? Raising 5 black boys. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're gonna be out there on your own.
Well, I go with the Buddhists on this one. You do your dharma, and you'll have good karma for this life and the next. So,
oh yeah, if you do it,
yeah.
But you got to pay it. You got to pay it, and you got to pay it for the sins of the fathers.
Yeah,
if they hadn't paid it. Let's move on.
Anthony's fucking life. It's some shit going on with this guy, and the world needs to see it. I'm the only one on social media pushing this shit. I'm begging and I'm asking for help to push this narrative. He's hiding something. He's fucking hiding something. What if, just what if he...
Yeah, he can. He's,
to those...
You can't allege that.
And maybe those boys are the way they are because of what the father...
Yeah, matriculation of the bum.
Yeah, you can't allege that, though.
I would harbor resentment for the rest of my fucking life. Maybe those boys had to grow up a little bit faster than other 17
It happens more than you know, and it's happening in those households more than you know, bro.
But the essay, the information on the essay charges is gonna come out. It's not public. It's not sealed, I don't believe. So, as we go further into this case, and everybody's investigated, and everybody that wants to jump on TV and do interviews and talk to the media instead of saying no comment or
right.
Yeah, we really feel
the
bad.
Family's in mourning right now. Exactly.
Yeah.
Have your lawyer come out and talk. Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
You're not on social media and running out on Fox taking a bag and having your son out there being the victim twin and trying to incite a race riot.
Yeah. This has got to come out. You want to be a public figure, you're going to be a public figure.
That's what happens.
Euros.
Yeah. The ether's telling him something. Look at his face.
Here's the problem.
I said it from the first second I saw.
So to you, Mr. Metcalf, while you out there running up a bag off your son's death, stop throwing slick shots at Karmello's parents.
You
have no room to preach about morals. Ain't none of us perfect, especially you. And for this dysfunctional ass family to get on all these news outlets and act perfect and talk about God, talk about religion, the audacity. And to my people, you see how the cops, the school, the students, the news reporters, the news.
They on code. This is right up TATN's alley. Hey, reach out to this guy, see if we can get him to sit on the self-love show.
For sure. $330,000 raised already?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For what? To bury him? And then what else?
Yeah.
Seriously.
All stick together no matter what. Even with Austin
They
being
do,
in
bro.
the
And this is
wrong,
what we be saying. If you can't support what's going on, I don't care if it's R. Kelly, I don't care if it's P. Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Take a big cup of STFU.
STFU. Don't make your documentaries and go out there and all they paying us to make his documentary. And I heard he did this,
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
everybody at those functions, events were there voluntarily.
Yeah, that's right.
Allegedly.
they all stayed on code.
And this kid was the man too, MVP the last season. The twin who got, I don't know if the other twin was a bum athletically, but this kid was the man.
I believe he was. And you can look at him and see.
I don't know. We got to talk about, but he's the kids. But I'm just saying, bro. I'm saying this kid was the man. You right? Why you hanging out at the track?
If you're the MVP, you're running the team, you're running the school. You're the MVP of the football team, not basketball, not baseball,
not the athletic program,
not track. You're the MVP of the football team. You're running the school.
But they lose sight of that sometimes. Then they come across some guy on the basketball team, and they, and they give him a quick focus.
Yeah. Let me tell you what's really going on.
Yeah, and then you're in the office. You know what I mean? Trying to explain. Yeah, I gave him a 4-piece. You know what I mean? Yeah, but you can't hit him first. Since you hit him first, it's another pink one sitting there. You know what I mean? It violates our policy.
We're gonna have to suspend you for the rest of the season.
You're gonna have to, and it's going to your record.
And we're gonna expel you. And good luck with your life.
Yeah, good luck. Well, you can go to the alternative pre-prison school right here where you can smoke cigarettes in class. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Get you a trade.
Yeah, you can do that violence, all that. I know you grew up in a bad house. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
man?
what are you talking? Yeah, I know you don't know your dad. Your dad's in jail.
No, he's
what the fuck is wrong?
He's here for every damn game.
He's on his way up here right now. Why don't you ask him?
Well, you tell him all this stuff about you telling me.
Why are you talking to me? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. We're almost at the end. We're going to move on, guys. We're sorry.
Even though the ex-wife hates her ex-husband's guts, they still stay on code. So in our community, we need to be the same way. And I know we have a lot of in the community, but don't even worry about them. They are irrelevant.
That's right.
Our focus is sticking together, putting out the hidden truths, and supporting this family.
That's
because
right.
one day it's Karmello, the next day.
Man, white folks, you rarely hear them talk about their trash and stuff that's going on in trash.
Hey, go back to that video of picture of the family.
Okay. Let's see.
Please.
This one right here?
Yeah. Sister, wife, 2 brothers.
Yeah. Together.
That's a family. And he's an athlete. About to go to probably D1. Or he's going to college.
Oh, he was getting multi offers and 4.0 GPA. Let's not overlook that.
Oh my God.
4.0 GPA, the colored guy.
Oh, academically or athletically. And I guarantee you those 2 guys that had no 4.0 GPAs.
And I guarantee you, if they did, they probably didn't earn it. But that part is just saying, I'm just alleging. But what I'm saying is, he had every right to be where he was, and the way they made it sound was like he was doing something, and that's what Marcellus made clear, that he was doing something that was weird. That's how, and Marcellus said, no. You know what I mean? No, this is our side, and this is your side, and you know what I mean? No.
Yeah. He was where he was supposed to be. He's doing what he's supposed to do academically. He was doing what he's supposed to do athletically.
And 2 twins coming there, get up. Then I tell you, this is my seat, boy.
Yeah, because your mother definitely uses the word boy.
Yeah. Then I tell you, we're gonna matriculate your bum next time when you see her around here. That's probably why you brought the knife. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, well, hold on. What?
Recipes to the young man. A lot of this is speculation. You know what I mean?
Speculation, but come on.
Yeah. There was some tweets though. I got to show these.
When was the family going to get $500,000 or $350,000 in cash for this young man?
I mean, that's a good question. Okay, let's see. I think I got something here. Now, this is the brother, bro. This is alleged Pookie's brother.
Okay.
Truth about Karmello. And he said the media wasn't talking about it because his family was doing what families do. They weren't out there making statements, but they had to. Let's set the record straight. Enough with the misinformation. Let's talk about facts. It's normal for students from different schools to gather under another school's tent. And Marcellus Wiley confirmed that.
All right.
Karmello had friends there in that tent. He wasn't trespassing or looking for trouble. The claim that one of the twins had never seen Karmello before, a bold-faced, blatant lie. No student has the right to remove another student from a school-owned tent. The school owns the tent, not the twins. Karmello is a track athlete. The twins are not. He wasn't even expecting to see them there. Now, here's what they don't want you to know. He's got more. The twins didn't just ask him to leave. They tried to jump him. Before attacking him, they tried to take his belongings, broke his phone, and stomped on it. Okay. The twins are known bullies.
Absolutely.
So ask yourself, if two 200-pound attackers came at your child, what would you expect them to do? And yet, despite everything, this should be his lawyer's closing arguments, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
And yet, despite I'd get yeah.
Well, he probably won't have to go there after he brings in all of the character witnesses for the damn bullies and how they bullied everyone in the school.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I'd have Samuel L. Jackson playing the defense attorney in this too, screaming and stuff. All right, and yet maybe even Bokeem Woodbine. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, and yet, despite because Bokeem Woodbine, and yet, despite everything, the media is trying to destroy Karmello's name. They keep posting a picture of him with an airsoft gun. This is Texas there, fella. Not even a real firearm to manipulate public perception. Why? Because they want to paint him as a criminal instead of a victim. Let's talk about who Karmello really is. A respectful, well-mannered young man, a 4.0 student with multiple college offers, a kid with zero criminal history, not even a blemish, a son raised in a loving home by parents who taught him right from wrong. A life was lost, and that is tragic. But what's also tragic is the way the media is twisting the story to fit their own agenda. Wow.
Absolutely.
They're used to these Pookies not having families. Go ahead, bro. What's your comment so far? Go ahead. That's the last one. That was the last one.
They're gonna picture him with an air gun in Texas. Come on, everybody in Texas has a damn gun, and whether it's an air gun, a shotgun, a 9mm.
They're teaching their kids how to defend themselves, and you can teach your kid how to use a firearm.
And luckily, he didn't use a gun, but he did stand his ground and he defended himself from these bullies. And as the story comes out, as these witnesses are brought to the stand, as the evidence is brought out about how these bullies were bullying kids, and then they'll find out what's in their hearts, then but it's just the smear that's being put on this young man's name, and probably the detriment to his future that's being brought by this whole situation.
Yeah, and small up to fake news Fox trying to excite a riot, because if MSNBC was doing the same thing and the tables were turned, you guys would be saying what I'm saying, that MSNBC is trying to start riots and stuff like that. So small up to Fox, be more responsible out there.
For sure.
All right, I got your favorite GM here, you guys.
Ryan Poles, general manager of the Chicago Bears, holding the 10th overall pick.
They're rehearsing it. They're rehearsing and mocking the draft here, fella. And look at
that BS.
This is the stuff they're spending their time on instead of scouting players. So you're never going to play make believe and pretend with you.
Where's he at on our board? I'm telling you, you have to ignore all this noise.
of like where people are gonna go, you have to be completely blind to it. Which you should be anyways, but I'm just like, I think there's a lot of stuff that doesn't really make sense.
Air quotes.
Wait, did he say sometimes you have to ignore the noise about the decisions you're making as a GM? Did he say that?
You know my sentiments about the general manager of the current Chicago Bears team. Fire Ryan Poles.
Did you see their faces?
Yeah.
It's like, how did you get this job?
Yeah.
You got us in here playing make-believe when I want to be over here at this pro day over here, and listening to you tell me that sometimes, not all times, sometimes you got to ignore the outside noise and pick. Really? That's what I'm saying. He was listening to the outside noise about Justin, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he had no confidence in Justin from the beginning. Probably after year one, he was
he said because he was holding the ball too long. Go ahead, man. And went out and got us a guy that holds the ball too long.
Especially when he was in a position to have the number one pick. Because even if Carolina didn't finish with the number one pick, it was going to be 2 or at the worst 3. Because the way we quote unquote fleeced them, that team was going to be horrible. And they proved that, and we got the number one pick again. But you were in a position where you had the whole world at your hands, and you took the easy route out. And then you had to come back after you came out to the fans of Chicago and said you're going to build this damn team through the draft. And then you went and got a quarterback out of the draft, and then you had to fix the damn team through free agency the next year. So, yeah, fire Ryan Poles.
Yeah, I just wanted to show that that's what our crack staff is doing up there at Hallis Hall out there. And that's Warren, while you're running around there yapping, and all of y'all are still yapping and talking about this season and how happy, man. This is what's going on behind the scenes. The guy who's in charge is running the kitchen, is telling, sometimes you got to stop listening to the outside noise with people around you outside this kitchen and restaurants telling you, about our menu and how we should prepare our food. Sometimes, I'm just saying,
We're working with these scouts and these people that you assembled as a staff to know pro personnel, college personnel, and what's going on in the league and college and free agency.
Correct.
And you get to the damn draft day and you want to start making crap up. Come on, man.
Right. You're telling me that you got to tell your team don't listen to Mel Kiper and all these other guys. But then you, and they're probably looking at him like, and you didn't take Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you listen to the outside noise.
That's probably what they were saying. He's got a character. He's got a character issue.
Yeah, I just got a text. Looking at his phone, smelling his fart. I just got a text from an insider. Yeah, he's got a character problem.
Yeah, it says here that he doesn't play hard.
Yeah. Man, don't get me started. All right. We got the human highlight film here.
So hard for a lot of players, especially in Mike's era, to give him his props. Why is it so easy for you to give him his props?
If you ain't ever faced him, you don't understand. If you ain't ever faced Mike, you can't make that comment.
Yeah.
Man, I played against some of the most hard-nosed, talented players that ever played this game. He was a phenomenon, and he had attitude to go with it. When you played against Mike, his eyes were bloodshot red every game. Like he was possessed.
He was out all night.
Yeah, he was hungover
tonight. Jesus is coming. And so when we was in college, I was a junior, he was a freshman. We were playing Carolina. And the first time James Worthy and I had a chance to play against one another since high school. And the game was back and forth. The whole game, close. Worthy was having a hell of a game. I was having a hell of a game. In the last 2 minutes of the game, a young kid named Michael Jordan took over by himself. Freshman.
By himself.
Yeah, he says money time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to show that to the people living off, you know what I mean? Yeah, who don't know who the GOAT is, who say there's a discussion.
I work with a young man. He played overseas college basketball. I mean, semi-pro pro basketball overseas, and he still has this LeBum thing going on in his head. Like, man, come on, man, from Chicago.
Yeah, I tell him, you know what I tell him? I tell him I'm standing from a purview of I've watched 90% of every game Michael Jordan played. The number's probably higher than that.
Yeah,
because when he went to Washington, I big ups to Mike. I regret that I didn't watch it as much though.
Yeah, especially when he was doing his thing at 40
Mike.
with a bum knee, and he was
still
on
Mike.
his way out the league.
Yeah. I just broke my heart a little bit. You know what I mean? But I say that to say, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. We'll move on.
I mean, come on. The LeBum debate, the GOAT, the GOAT non-debate. As you saw from Allen Iverson in the in the preview of the show. That come on.
Yeah. And he's busting your bum hungover after partying all night. You imagine if Mike was fresh every game.
One of those Kobe type athletes that went home after every game.
Him, Pip, and Rodman.
But they were enjoying their lives as professional athletes. They ain't coming out there and giving you the business every night. So I understand what Pip say. Jordan could have did this and that without me and our team, but he was able to do what he wanted to do. He was a supreme athlete. He enjoyed being the GOAT of basketball, and he enjoyed making all you guys live rock star lives. And the fact that he doesn't recognize that,
doesn't even see the benefit of this promoting Mike. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's, I ain't gonna say disingenuous, but somewhat disingenuous. Even if you feel a certain way, you don't realize the benefit of this guy's a hero. I played with him. He got me 6 chips. We got him together. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing you can say bad about my man. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect, but I balled with him. We got 6 chips, never lost one. He got MVP of all 6 of them. What are we talking about?
Well, my problem with the Pippen, the Bulls, the NBA, period, that Jordan took the game global for them. Jordan made everybody money.
Rock stars.
I told you he was coming. Jordan made everybody money.
Yeah. Bro, I be talking to the Europeans, bro. They all know about Jordan, bro. Bro.
Yeah. Even when me and Tori was in Jamaica in '97, I had on some Chicago Bulls. Michael Jordan?
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. D Zo is in the building.
What up, D Zo?
Right on time. Big ups to Morehouse, first HBCU to win National Boxing Championship. So all right, big ups to them. But what up, B?
Shout out to Simeon, won high school classics for the 3rd year in a row. In the city of Chicago.
One of those guys look too old, man. I looked at that thing you sent me. The kid was
baseball. Yeah,
one of those kids looked like he was 23 years old. Don't talk over me. Go ahead. Simeon's still up to their shenanigans.
We never get enough credit for our baseball accolades. We never do. I mean, it's like the basketball always overshadow it, but we probably won more city championships from baseball than any other sport.
And your academics, bro. And
academics ain't bad. They get a bad rap too, but
and they track, bro. Simeon always floated. Yeah, they always flirted.
They got all
They
that.
do that to a lot of Southside high schools. They criticize you, but then if you go and look at our players where they went, we got players went to Duke, players went to Gonzaga, and we talking about this is when your SATs and stuff kind of mattered. You know, it wasn't like you could just And even if they didn't, you still some of the it's a little different now with the meal money.
Pookie 13, Pookie Prop 13. He's like,
Allegedly, they were taking the test. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And let me just say this because y'all was playing that clip with Neek talking about Mike.
Yeah.
One thing that never really gets talked about, Neek should have been on that dream team.
Ooh, you're right.
Doesn't get talked about.
Christian Laettner?
Anybody.
Laettner.
Christian
they had
Laettner
Laettner on that team. Y'all talking about taking Laettner off that team?
You're damn right.
Yes, he shouldn't have been on it. He should have been playing in that team that was playing against them for practice.
Wait, let me get on camera. I want to see my big lips. Are you guys saying you would substituted Dominique Wilkins for Christian Laettner on that dream team?
Christian Laettner should have never been on the team. He should have been part of that team that they was practicing against.
But then where you gonna put Shaq if you take Laettner? Oh, Laettner.
Shaq
off
wasn't
the
in
roster.
the league yet.
Yeah, that was the thing. They did Shaq. They took Laettner over Shaq though. Shaq was available, but they chose Laettner.
But with Shaq was I would have still Dominique. He'd already proven in the NBA, and that roster should have been filled with NBA players who never got a chance to whoop on the grown men of other countries.
Let me ask the chat. You guys, let me know if you'd rather have Dominique Wilkins, the human highlight film on that dream team, or Christian Laettner. Put it in the chat. Let me know who you wanted. From Duke.
He should have been.
That kid was drop dead gorgeous. You saw what he was doing at Duke.
So what? Didn't matter. You seen what Neek did throughout his NBA career?
Wait a minute. I just stepped away for a minute. But you saying Christian Laettner was on the team because he was drop dead gorgeous?
Drop dead gorgeous.
Okay.
Smart.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been. He shouldn't have been. Flat out.
He should have been on the team over Shaq.
But I agree with
that's what we were saying. I was saying
that's what I said.
Shaq hadn't been in the league yet.
Yeah.
And
Laettner
that
hadn't
team,
either.
but that team was specifically saying to the rest of the world, you've been putting your grown men against our amateurs.
Right, but they took Laettner.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He shouldn't have been on the team. Dominique should have
so
been
you're
on
saying
that
you
team.
wouldn't have had Shaq. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had Shaq because I would have had all NBA players.
All NBA highlight
up.
films. Man, Dominique would have been, my God. If Dominique was on that team, OMG, bro.
We might have had the jumping over a player's head in '92 instead of waiting to Vince Carter get on the.
I mean, even look,
and say what you want. Isaiah Thomas should have been on that team too. Over who was it? Stockton. Isaiah Thomas should have been on that team, bro. And
even Dominique could have been over Chris Muller.
But they had a rumor that Jordan said he wouldn't play with, and Jordan said that wasn't true. Jordan,
listen.
He played with Rodman.
Flat out, none of them wanted Isaiah on that team. The majority of that team didn't want him on.
He should have been on. I don't care what they want. You guys are potentially coons out here, and we don't care what you want. We're getting the best team out here. This guy's top 3-point guard ever. He should have been on that team, bro.
It had to be majority rule because his damn coach was coaching the team.
His coach was coaching the team too.
Yeah, and his his coach. It wasn't his say so though.
No,
it was like the majority of them players was like, "Hey,
you want to ride this train or you want to stay at home?"
I think it was Magic who would have had the final say. They would have respected
Magic. Didn't want him on the team.
Exactly.
Magic said it, and that was his boy.
Yeah.
He was like, no. And primarily, it's not because of how.
I think they were having some sort of consensual.
It was over his sportsmanship. It was sportsmanship.
No, they were having a relationship. You saw them kiss on national TV, right? You saw Magic's son. He's both of them at one time. You know what I mean? But only looks like one of them. Big ups to him and everybody. All right, here we go.
You can't say that about Magic Johnson in his.
Let's move off that. John Morant, man, he did the hand grenade gestures. Is this anything there? Anything there for y'all for that, John Morant?
Yeah. No.
It should be. I mean, he don't like the commissioner ain't tough enough on these players. That's the bottom line. Certain stuff that they're doing, and he lets it ride. I get it. He's not David Stern, right? But you've got to have some sort of spine to basically let players know, hey, look, man. Matter of fact, I bring them in the office. David Stern used to bring people in the office all the time and tell them, listen, this is what I'm going to do if you do it again. He, Barkley, all of those stars that said about him calling him to the office.
Your boy was sending you right back. All right, you're poor and stupid when you came. You're making a lot of money. What are you doing? Here's what I'm saying. To your point, I see players shooting
ice water in their veins. Yeah,
and doing little stuff on the sidelines. You know, like say if Diesel hit a 3, I see players on the side on the bench doing that. Like, why are they singling out Ja Morant? That's the only thing I'm saying.
No,
that's so bad when Pookie
Morant.
Morant.
It's his accumulation of things. So he's been, you know, all that stuff, the trouble that he's got into. You got to draw a line.
Allegedly.
No, it's trouble that he's got into this fact. And
what he's been charged with. He's a young Pookie up for the bag, and I think, they always pocket watch when the young Pookie's up for the bag, and I think that's what it is. You got people shooting ice water in their veins, throwing shots. I mean, it's entertainment.
I'm gonna do this until they tell me I can't do this no more.
It's NBA entertainment. They're making money off of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you guys taking Ja Morant if he's available? Are you opening up?
No,
you're damn right.
I'm not taking.
You're damn right. I'm shipping out whatever the hell we can to get Ja Morant in Chicago.
Hell no.
You wouldn't give up R. Giddy? You wouldn't like if they wanted R. Giddy and some considerations, and you can take Ja Morant. You wouldn't do that.
Oh, he misses half of the season. He's always hurt. What's my biggest thing? Availability, right? He's always hurt.
Well, the most he's missed is missed for shenanigans, off-court shenanigans.
He's missed for injuries too. If you combine the two, then he's gonna have them shenanigans because his behavior don't change.
But can he mature? Can he not mature?
Yes, he can mature. Yeah, he can mature.
You're bringing in these poor and stupid players, bro, at 18, 19, 20 years old. Now, by the time he's able to learn from his mistakes, we as Chicago always decide, I don't want to have nothing to do with him. You guys
ship him out of town.
Yeah,
why don't you in LA? You
probably hanging out at house parties in Hyde Park.
You in LA?
Yeah, she go to St. Ignatius. She, you know what I mean? Yeah, she go to St. Ignatius. Right.
They'll take him. They'll ship LeBron right to Memphis right now for a Ja Morant.
Oh yeah, I'll take him, and I'll take the dude at New Orleans right now. We ain't had nothing in so long. What's wrong with y'all? You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with y'all? I'll take him. We took Levine for 18 years. He was never available.
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball, he was never available.
We gave him another contract.
Yeah,
but Ball didn't have a history of missing games.
Yes, he did.
Not like that. No, he didn't.
He missed the last 3 years.
Even before we got him, he was ginger. That's why we was able to be in a position to overpay him.
Well, I definitely no. I don't want. His availability. I don't like his availability.
We overpaid him again.
Get some name some other people. Why you gotta name him? Nobody want him.
All right, I was just wondering, man, because I'll take him. If I'm the GM, I'd take him. I'll be calling him right now.
Yeah, you take him, and you'd be right up the same creek.
I trade
like we were with Levine. Nope.
I trade Patrick Williams and what's the other bum we get? Lonzo Ball for Ja Morant right now.
Whoever they want.
They're not gonna want that. They're gonna want more than that. So if you could get them for them two, but they're not gonna take them for that. They're gonna want the whole haul.
No, he's been discredited. That's when you go after players. You can get them on the cheap. You got to do it. You know what I'm saying? When they're right in the news doing dumb shit. That's when you go out and make an offer for them.
Get them out of Memphis with Glorilla and get them in Chicago with a little dirt. And, we're going to teach them how to be an NBA professional.
Because I tell you who will take them. The Lakers will take them. I guarantee you that. And you guys be like, oh, that was a great move, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but then they'll give up a whole bunch.
But you want to fire me for even considering it. You see, you've been programmed. All right. It's all in the algorithm, as he says. All right. Amateur urinate.
You take them. You take them. The Lakers or the Clippers. Y'all take them. We don't want
them.
Take them.
Yeah, the Clippers will definitely take them, bro. He'd be box office out here in L.A., boy. Yeah, you guys like watching R. Giddy going around there.
Get him a Lambo and
Her body's telling me yes, but her parents are telling me no. All right, big ups to Giddy. All right, amateur urinates in creek near 13th green and opening round at the Masters. Now, just imagine if Tiger Woods or Barack Obama did this. Jose Luis Ballester, the U.S. amateur champion, used a bridge as a restroom on Augusta National's hollowed 13th hole. Okay.
Yeah.
He needed to take a relief after hitting his third shot. It had nothing to do, blah, blah, blah. He's 21 years old. He took a relief. He pissed into the tributary some 60 yards short of the green at the par 5 hole. With his back to the grandstand, had kids out there and everything, that is behind the 14th tee. Ballester did his business and then got a loud round of applause from all of the spectators who figured out what was going on. Guaranteed. Yeah, he couldn't have been colored doing that. Well, I completely forgot.
He was brown.
Yeah, he's brown, but he's from Spain. You know, they're
don't count.
No, they're colonizers out there.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, I completely forgot that we had those restrooms to the left of the tee box. He forgot. He'd been there before.
He's a monkey.
He forgot they had restrooms. All right, you guys, y'all got any take on pissing on the hallowed grounds? I actually appreciate it.
Well, you know, I'm from baseball, so you know, kids say gotta go to the bathroom. Find the closest damn tree. So for him pissing off of the damn bridge, you know, it is what it is. But he's a professional player, and or he's an amateur playing in a professional tournament.
Prestigious.
He should know. He should know that there's. If he was black, they would have hung him. But if you know, he should know that there's porta potties all over the place for him to use.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. If he pissing off the bridge, that's like visible sight for everybody to see.
It is.
Now,
he had his back up.
The things with the bridges, they got plenty of bushes and stuff that he could have went to the cut and pissed in the bush. I think that might have been deliberate.
That's what I'm saying. I would ask, but you asking your people you golfing with, hey man, where the closest bathroom to here before it even comes?
They're gonna say it right there.
There's officials.
Yes.
There's all kinds of stuff.
You call it time out.
I'm looking at the Masters now, and wherever there's a creek and the little bridges, there's bushes around that hole. He could have went in the bush. Listen,
bro.
If I'm Augusta,
if this was seniors, if this was a senior,
man, he's banned from playing there, man.
But
I wouldn't let him. I wouldn't accept him.
If this was the seniors tour and those kids was out there and they were 68 years old, I'd sit there and say, I understand as I'm getting older. I understand. He had to piss. This kid's 21 years old. They ain't out there slamming beers, or are they? So so at the last, all of a sudden you got to pee so bad that you can't wait till you get to the bathroom.
Even
that makes
if
no sense.
he was, who pisses on the bridge? You know the bridge is visible to everybody.
Neanderthal.
If there's kids around.
He must be a Neanderthal. You got to have better piss planning than that at 21. This isn't your 6-year-old kid and say, "Daddy, I gotta pee," and he jumping around.
They need to hammer that dude. I would not accept him to play there again.
And you walking
give him like a 10-year suspension, something 5-year suspension from playing there, from playing at that tournament.
He was the amateur champion last year. His
I'm
family's
talking
probably
about
rich.
Specifically at Augusta. Because remember, you know how these country clubs are.
That's what I'm saying.
The black folks can't hardly get in there.
Listen.
If you do that at their course during their biggest tournament, I'm just
You're
specifically
banned.
talking about the Masters.
Come on.
He should be barred for at least a few years from playing there again.
And what you said is kind of explosive when you said you think he had to do that on purpose, trying to go viral or something.
Listen, I know how those bridges are. What would possess you that you got to take a leak and you just gonna piss off the
all
bridge?
of a sudden? You better have a bladder problem, and I need a note from a doctor.
There's game officials who walk around and you can say, "Hey, man, I can't
Range
hold
masters,
it. I can't hold
what I'm
it.
saying.
I'm going in these.
But why do you get to the point of where you can't hold it?
If he was some sort of color, he'd be banned for life.
Well, maybe
that's like me playing. That's like me playing basketball, varsity sports, and all of a sudden, I gotta pee, and I turn my back to the crowd and pee.
Yes, maybe it's his. It's
retarded.
He's an amateur, so he's nervous, right? So you could get how your nerves.
He won the chip last year.
But but that's the amateurs.
So if he
go
had to
against
poop,
the
he could have pooped right there too.
Hey, sounds like he would have did it in the bushes, right? Okay, like
no, he wouldn't have went to the bushes. Apparently not.
That Mark told his friends over there how much y'all are paying me if I go over there and piss on these
Hey,
shit.
man,
That's what I said. Big ups to him.
that story is almost unbelievable.
It'll be on TikTok this week.
It really is. I hadn't heard it till you just said it. I can't believe that.
It'll be on TikTok.
It was his first time. Hold on, I misspoke though. He won before, but it's his first time at Augusta. So let's get his words. Let's get his words so we can make a better assessment.
All right.
The
Spaniard.
Well, I completely forgot we had those restrooms to the left of the tee box. And then I'm like, I really need to pee. Like, really? Okay. Didn't really know where to go. And since JT had an issue on the green, so there was some sort of pause in the game, I'm like, I'm just going to sneak here in the river, as opposed to what Diesel's saying, those bushes or whatever. And probably people would not see me. I guess he thought he was invisible out there that much. He said, and then they clapped for me. Probably one of the claps that I really got today, real loud. So that was kind of funny. I think he got a little stimulated by that.
Yeah, he's probably pissing all over the world off bridges.
This is his first time at Augusta, bro. Somebody had to give him a little speech, tell him how prestigious this land is. Not to me. Again, I would have pissed on it too.
Yeah, he's got a caddy though. I mean, his caddy.
Look what he says. They saw me. They saw me. It was not embarrassing for me at all. If I wasn't embarrassed out there with his wiener, I would do it again.
He did it again.
He's done it before.
Hold up, he'll do it again. You're right. He should be banned forever from there. Just based off that, even when he goes pro. Forever.
Spain, he's a 3-time All-American in Arizona State. Don't tell me that Spanish crap. This dude been pissing over on golf courses his whole life.
I feel like you never really know how to prepare, said Ballister. You can meditate, visualize, put yourself in hard situations, but at the end of the day, you've got to figure it out, right? Especially being the first time here at Augusta with such a nice pairing like I had. I knew for sure I was going to have Scotty, and when I saw Tuesday I had JT, I was like, oh my God, I got to piss. Yeah, just try to get loose warming up, tried to be myself, listen to music, tried to stay focused. And again, as I said before, really happy how to manage the nerves. All right, Diesel, you was on to something on the first tee box and how to play the first few holes. Also, I made a couple. This is a long way of saying what Diesel said. He was so nervous and intimidated out there, he had to piss, and he was about to piss his pants.
Come on, man. He was with somebody who's played there before. That's played on Augusta. All they had to say, man, well, I am.
Diesel, would you let him play there again if you made sure he wore a diaper?
No, I would tell him, listen, man, that's unsatisfactory for this golf course, and he gonna get, even if he's pro and he's qualified, you're not allowed to play at this course for at least like 3 to 5 years, something along those lines.
So he's just telling me every first time when he says it's my first time here. That's like my first time playing at TATN. Oh yeah, I didn't know where the bathroom was, so I just
that's even worse. If it's your first time, you know this is their World Series of golf. That course is like the Super Bowl. You do not, and they could see you, and you know they could see you.
Well, maybe they need to give all the golfers a map of where the rest.
Man, get out of here, man. Everything's televised. Yeah. There's officials all over the place. You have a caddy. You're in a twosome or foursome. Whoever you're playing with knows where the hell the bathroom's at. He just wanted to piss off the bridge.
Is this a parental issue? Maybe how he was raised? Can we bring that up?
Well, I think they need to run a RICO case on him, just like Kale's, and put them away for the next 20 years.
Yeah, out there in front of the kids, too. In front of the kids.
He seemed to be having too much fun, right? He said, what did he say? When they see me, they were clapping for
He liked it. That's what I'm saying. And he said he'd do it again.
I'd do it again.
Yeah, no, you need to get this goddamn suspension.
I thought you were being heavy-handed when you said the lifelong suspension, but I agree.
No, I didn't mean life. I meant like
man, if he pissed in your house and said that to you, would he ever be in your house again?
No, but
that's what I'm saying.
This is a golf course, and
it don't matter.
Because we don't know those pro golfers and stuff, which, like you said, it's probably happened before. He sounds like he's done this before on golf.
Yeah, he's a pisser in public.
Right?
So he's a pisser.
You got to teach him you can't do this again. So
that's a damn shame. He's 21 years old.
I'd give him a suspension for like 3 or 5 years, somewhere along those lines.
Definitely not at Augusta.
Can't play at Augusta anymore. Not from the rest of the tour, but Augusta. And then if the PGA wanted to do something to him, they could.
Yeah, he can go over to well, they all one and the same now. The
why don't they have porta potties?
They not joined.
Why don't they put porta potties in every hole?
No, they just allow
agreement.
live guys to play in the what's PGA the tournaments? The majors. They got something where they can play in the majors. They don't play in the weekly tournaments, but only in the majors.
That's all you need to play in.
Well, no, because the PGA actually don't want them in the majors if they're in live, but they know that the fans prefer the best in the world for those majors. So they kind of like, okay.
I wouldn't give a damn what the PGA wanted. If live is paying me more money than the PGA, I'll come and play in the major tournaments whenever the hell I damn feel like it.
Well, but then basically that's what'll happen. You end up destroying the PGA, and then there won't be no majors because those golf courses, they're basically kind of like those particular tournaments. Even though they're in conjunction with the PGA, they're almost like independent things.
Yeah, they're glorified. They're glorified money laundering entities. It's entertainment. But go ahead.
Yeah, but it's what the PGA agreed to. They stood fast. They had Tiger Woods, at the forefront of it, saying there's no way I go over to live, and then they folded a year later, and now they're allowing these guys to play in the tournament.
Well, he never went, but they offered him $1 billion.
Tiger Woods never. Tiger Woods never.
They didn't even offer him to play. They said the what's the guys, the spokesman for them who used to play in the PGA, the English guy, Greg Norman. He's Greg like Norman. They wanted him, Tiger, to do his position.
Yeah, I take
Tiger
that.
turned it down. He said, no, I don't want to do it. Yeah. And then a lot of those golfers who said, no, we ain't going until they seen them offer them 150, 200 million to come play. They were like, hey, man, that's too much money to turn down. I got to go.
That's where Lefty went.
Phil Mickelson got like 150, 200
like,
million.
Man, are y'all crazy? I'm taking that bag. Yeah.
Like, I can't. I don't blame some of those golfers because some of them
we're never going to make that money.
They were never going to make that much in the PGA.
Yeah.
And you get a guarantee like 100 million, 150 million.
I'm gone.
And Phil Mickelson case, he had already made a lot in the PGA, gambled a lot of it away. But
generational.
When you say, okay, I'm gone.
Drop dead Gorgeous.
Drop dead Gorgeous.
Hey, Tory said they made the team have a college player. Who? The international governing body?
He's talking about the NBA.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the Olympics.
But
they could have. Who's the they? They, them? Who is he talking about?
The Drop Dead Gorgeous NBA.
That ever selects that team? They
talking about Ricky Smith?
Ricky Bobby. The Olympic Committee.
But they could have easily said, no, we're not doing that this year. We're putting all NBA players.
Okay, well, if it had to be a college player, it should have been Shaq. They had Leitner. There it is. Who's going to take Leitner or Shaq?
I'm taking Shaq, but it was a transition from the college players over to the Dream Team. So
Shaq.
You damn right I'm taking Shaq over Leitner.
Is anybody in the chat upset that Drop Dead Gorgeous Christian Leitner, he was balling for Duke? Y'all know I was a Dookie.
I don't give a damn what he's doing for Duke. I'm taking Shaq over Christian Leitner all day long.
Shaq couldn't shoot the free throws.
I don't give a damn. He don't have to shoot free throws. He's dunking. Just go there. Get your big ass in front of the rim. If Michael Jordan's coming down, there's going to be 2 or 3 players taking it. He's going to kick the ball to you right in front of the rim and dunk it.
Hey, who was our player from Chicago that played with Shaq on that team?
Jamie Brandon.
Yeah, he don't get enough. He didn't get enough, credit for all that. He was balling.
McMahon was playing before Jamie Brandon.
But he should have went to U of I. Jamie Brandon should have went to University of Illinois, and Shaq should have came here with him.
You know what Jamie Brandon's biggest issue was to me from the outside looking in? No, his drive. That drive. Because when I see his personality now in interviews and things, I was like, that's why he had the talent. I seen him when you know how
you're saying his lack of drive is similar to Caleb Williams, the generation.
He was out there like Tiso.
No, I'm talking about
I'm just there.
That determining drive. to like use your talents and you can just keep going first. His regular personality to me was like.
One thing about Tizo though, whenever he missed a shot, he always called foul, so he wasn't hurting us too much.
Yeah, right.
Just you know what I mean, just desecrating the game.
We knew we could enforce it, but that's that. But right, moving on.
All right, Mike Malone. You guys, I was a Donovan guy, right? You guys weren't. The Bulls have caught fire. They got his little system figured out. I was talking to Miliak about this, and so I'm going to ask you a question. Ask Miliak. Mike Malone is available. The GM is fired. I don't want the GM because he's not the one who put that team together. But would you rather have Mike Malone or Billy Donovan head coaching the Chicago Bulls next season?
Mike Malone.
Ace?
Yeah. Billy Donovan's going into the Hall of Fame as a college
He sure
coach,
is. Hall of Fame, John Deere, gorgeous, smart.
But Billy Donovan runs a college system where he needs a
Let him go to U of I then.
Of role players. Yeah, he can go to
he can recruit.
He can go to U of I. But Mike Malone is a pro coach, and if you give him some pro players, they'll be able to win here in Chicago. But the fact that you allegedly have the 2, 3, 4, whatever, how many years you want to make this guy the MVP of the league, and you fire the damn coach.
The only coach the Joker's ever had.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Right? That's like moving off Phil Jackson and in Jordan's 10th season.
Yeah. As the owner.
Something happened, bro. They not talking
it was the GM and Mike Malone. They was at odds even when they won the championship.
Of course. What happened that made
they were saying
bubble up 3 games before the playoffs start, though, bro? Did he let him just finish it?
Did he sleep with the GM's wife?
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? What do you do when the job just says, you know what?
Yeah, the timing is horrible. Timing is horrible. The owner's mindset is horrible. Because
come on, it's right before Christmas. You working at Macy's, Marshall Fields. You know what I'm saying? And right before the Christmas rush, Diesel, and they fire you, and all the employees like, man, they couldn't have kept that motherfucker.
Well, that's when the Bulls normally fire their coaches is Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Yeah.
Well, and then the players revolted because
he's too hard.
No.
Screams at him.
He's using Russell Westbrook
as
Russell Westbrook although we know he turns the ball over, misses shots, right?
They said he's giving Westbrook a pass. He's not coaching him as hard as he's coaching.
He would use him as an example of this is how you play hard, regardless of how your game is going. Whether your shot ain't right today, Russell, we all know he plays at the same mile an hour.
Yeah, he's a basketball savant.
And he was using that as an example, and the players were starting to revolt to that.
Yeah.
Like, what you mean? What you mean?
Right.
And he's like,
we want to chip in. We want to chip in, and he doesn't have
15 of these dudes on my team. Because he like that mentality of
shiny
playing
new
hard
toy
all the time.
Like the Bears with Caleb Williams.
Yeah, we like drinking beer and smoking cigarettes at halftime. We won the championship.
Yeah.
But there's no way in the world he should have been fired. He shouldn't have been fired at all. He damn sure shouldn't have been fired at this time of the season.
Yeah.
And you guys would both prefer to have him over Billy Donovan, regardless of the progress you're saying.
Yes.
What progress? We're in the playing game again.
Now Miliak said he'd go with Billy Donovan.
We're in the playing game again.
Good for him. Send him to the Atlanta. He can recruit, let him take over for that, and maybe the line can have some more success.
Sure, we'll win a championship with Billy Donovan down there in Shannon.
He'll get some players. He'll get some players who can get us out of the second round.
What do y'all think about Isaiah Thomas, the guy who calls LeBron the GOAT, the guy who didn't shake our Chicago Bulls hand?
His bum hurts.
Yeah, so he was doing the TNT game. And LeBron was out there warming up with his shirt off. And
he rub his back or something?
Yeah, maybe he wanted to. But he said the NBA needs to do something about that. And he was alleging something to the effect that that these players don't respect the game anymore. What you guys take? And then LeBron clapped back and said, I could say something, but I'm going to be passive aggressive here and not say nothing.
Rub my bum.
Well, see, here's the dynamic of that. LeBron probably wants to say, this is from a guy who led a team that did nothing but try to hurt people while they were in the NBA, right?
Right.
Or he wants to rub his fence on the bum.
But
we don't know what he wants to say.
But then if he says that, then you put Jordan and them on a higher pedestal because that's what they had to go through. So that's the dynamic that he don't want to come out and say, but that's what he knows. Like, these motherfuckers were trying to hurt. And it ain't
So it's
just
chess, not checkers with LeBron.
Yeah.
He's an entertainer.
Now, is Isaiah right about this instance? Yes. I don't think we've ever seen NBA players on not at a practice, but at the facility when you
not even at practice. Not even at practice.
Right. Well,
right. But people's kids are out here. Yeah, practice you can see it, but people's kids are out here. Yeah, and you're out with your shirt off, and it's never been done. Is there an expectation?
I've never seen it until they showed that clip that day. I've never seen it. They've always had a jersey or some T-shirt.
But I've never seen a team walk off. I've never seen a team walk off with minutes left in a game and not shake hands with somebody who closed out the series on them either before Isaiah did that. Was that not desecrating the game more than LeBron just warming up with his shirt off?
Well, that's the dynamic. That's what we're talking about. The dynamic is that for LeBron, Isaiah's been backing him because he's been a Jordan hater this whole time.
So he don't want to clap. I got what you're saying. He don't want to clap too hard because he's been his little butt buddy in the whole GOAT debate.
Yes.
And he still wants to be considered the GOAT of basketball when everybody consensually has said that he's not.
So maybe LeBron's ... was, but this guy says I'm the GOAT. Now, see if LeBron said that, I'd have a little more respect for the brother. You know what I mean?
But nobody believes what that guy's saying.
Yeah. I'd be like, I'd tweet if I was LeBron, but this idiot thinks I'm the GOAT. That's what I would tweet. That goes so viral. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, because he got his bum matriculated by Jordan all those years. All right, in his backyard.
Now I know I probably missed it earlier. If y'all were talking about it, but a couple of weeks to go to the draft.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about it yet.
Who y'all taking with the 10th pick?
Ooh, best player available.
Okay. What about you, Mercer?
I'm moving up in the draft.
Moving up?
Up.
Who you get?
Who you gonna get?
A dog. I don't know yet, but I'm moving up.
There'll be a dog available at 10.
I'm moving up to get a dog's dog. You know what I mean? I don't want none of this if he can just switch to the other side and matriculate over there. Maybe I can move up and get a Travis Hunter.
If the guy I want, which the Raiders, if the Raiders take him, Genty, he's gonna be gone. If the Raiders take him, if they take him, which they've been saying, I be reading their stuff, and it seems like they really want him. So if he's gone and I'm the Bears, I'm moving back some spots. Because you can move back and get a little more capital and still get that dude from North Carolina that I like, the running back. But I don't think he'll be there when the second round start. And we have our 2 second-round picks. That dude from North Carolina going to be gone. So I'm hoping the Bears could move back a few spots, still draft him, and then gain like a pick or 2 by moving back if the Raiders draft a boy.
Well, I mean, the Raiders have historically went after running backs before quarterbacks. They need a quarterback desperately. They got Geno.
Got old boy Geno, but he only gonna be there a couple of years. This be the perfect time that you could get somebody like Shador.
Yeah.
Groom him for a year under Geno, and then you be ready to go. So it's a real crazy dynamic, right?
Yeah, because they took Josh Jacobs with the Khalil Mack pick that we gave them when we traded for Khalil Mack. and now they're in a position to possibly get Genty or in the draft earlier, or they can go after a quarterback to groom for after Geno has to go, because you got to win on a rookie deal. So I don't know. Hopefully Genty's there at 10 for the Bears. They're moving up. If you can move up and get a Abdul Carter, I don't think their need is primarily for a DB / wide receiver. I know that kid is a special player, but I wouldn't move up to get him. If I can move up and get an Abdul Carter, I would do that. But for the most part, once they get to the point in the draft at 10, where they're selling on a player, or they just trying to go to whoever's the best athlete, I would move back and pick up another pick in maybe the second, third round and go from there. Just like Dizzo's saying. That makes more sense.
Yeah, because Abdul Carter, he gonna be gone in them top 5 picks probably.
Hell yeah. They're talking about his foot injury. And
that's the only thing. Yeah, that foot injury is a little scary with that dude.
Yeah.
It's a little bit scary. Then what's the other Abdul Carter? Is he an end or a tackle? He's an end,
He's
right?
an end. Yeah, he's a disruptor.
Yeah, the dude from, I think the couple of D tackles too. One of them, the one from Michigan, I think he gonna be gone.
Yeah, he'll be going too. Yeah, but if he falls to 10, I'm grabbing him.
He ain't falling to 10,
but he's not gonna fall to 10.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to move up, and then you can maybe get like, you know what I'm saying, a dog lineman, or like you said, Abdul. Or move up and maybe flirt with a Travis Hunter if people start making, or Mason Graham. If these players drop, man, you gotta move up and get them. Look at Tyler Warren out there. I know you guys Cole Komet.
No,
the tight end. Yeah,
if Tyler, they can get Tyler Warren, I'd trade Cole Komet right after the damn draft.
He'll be available. He'll be available when we pick
6th round pick. Cash.
I'll trade him during the draft for a second or third round pick. And you pick up his contract.
Oh, if you can get a third round for Cole Komet, that's like Dizzo getting a third round for Nick Foles back in the day. You know what I mean? You ain't getting but hit that money they paying him, you ain't getting that for him.
And this is Cole Komet's. What year is this? His last
17th. He grew up in the
Chicago
suburbs.
This is second or third year of his contract, I think.
Yeah, it's his third contract with the Bears.
Okay.
All right, so we got I got a picture to show y'all real quick. This is LeBron's kin doll. I don't know if you guys got daughters.
I seen it.
Yeah.
No damn daughters. And I don't want to see that damn LeBron.
There's the doll there. I'm gonna order it. Like it's got a nice little case there. Look at him standing there.
Why is his pants so tight on the damn doll?
Is that a Merce? You see?
Yeah. They'll call it a fanny pack, but it looks like a Merce.
Yeah.
Why does he have to have a fanny pack though?
He looks more feminine than Ken has ever looked.
I like him without the hat. It make it look more like him without the hat.
They can't show his bald head underneath that.
They did great on
I
the
see the
face.
picture.
Yeah, his features are good.
Yeah, maybe that's a better bust than what they're creating for these players nowadays. But why is his pants so damn tight?
I could see a LeBron James comic book. His superpower would be tweeting. He'd be a famous athlete,
his superpower be flopping.
Definitely flopping.
If you do that again, I'm going to flop.
I don't know. You guys like that? You wouldn't buy that for your sons? He's a
you know what? You can buy that as a collectible.
That's what I've been telling Ace. Yeah, I'm gonna get that and keep it.
Get that as a collectible.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't even open it. Just keep it.
Might even get LeBron to sign it. If you come across LeBron at some sort of event, he might have a Ken Dow signing event. What do I call it? LaDow? Like, what's the name of this thing? Are you Ken or are you LaDow?
I had a Biggie Smalls. I saw Biggie Smalls little doll at Best Buy. They were in the clearance aisle for $1. So
did you buy multiple? How many did you buy?
I didn't buy any of them. So
that's ridiculous. You see this? Yeah. You see opportunities like that. They walk away from it, Dizzo.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I got his T-shirt.
Man, you were supposed to buy, not you, but if it was me, I'd have bought about 13 of those things, bro.
Yeah, it'd just be like them Jordan 2s. You can put them all in the same room.
Yeah, I guess you can. All right. Justin and the Jets. We got to get to this topic here. The producers just walked in.
Shout out.
So the coach, Aaron Glenn. Whose tree is Aaron Glenn from? Anybody know?
Ohio State.
Yeah, but no, the coaching
the professional tree.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He just came from somewhere.
It's got to be from somebody.
I think Aaron Glenn wasn't he a receiver?
Was he at
I thought
Detroit?
He was a DB. I thought he was a DB.
Was he at Detroit?
It might be a couple of different Aaron Glenns though.
Was he at Detroit? Was he Detroit's defensive coordinator?
The head coach for the Jets. Yeah.
He was Detroit.
Yeah.
But who's coaching tree? So he's under their coaching tree, right? Their head coach's coaching tree, I guess. I don't know.
I'm not sure, but he's pretty respected around the league. So,
well, here's what he said about Justin Fields. Justin is a dynamic player, and I think there's more that we can get out of that.
All right.
The over/under on them these was 5.5. And when I say promised land, Justin Fields will lead Jets to promised land. I mean a wild card berth out there. They got Porch.
They had the setup. I mean, if their defense rebounds this year, they got a solid running game. And
He's got that receiver he was throwing to.
Who used to play with them
in Ohio State?
Like a Pro Bowler. He was
they got talent at wide receiver and talent at running back, and they got Justin Dan Fields. But here's Aaron Glenn's bio. He previously served as defensive coordinator for the Lions from 21 to 24. He was the defensive backs coach for the New Orleans Saints from 16 to 2020. And he was assistant coach for the Cleveland Browns from 2014 to 2015. He played for the Jets from 1994 to 2001. He's going back home.
I don't know. That probably, Yeah, I have to ask him, catch him in an interview. Because you always know who the other ones, the offensive guys, you always know whose tree they're from. You know what I mean? It's just a known fact. But I don't know these defensive guys' tree.
Well, black people live rough, man. So we gotta get jobs where we can get them.
Yeah.
But I think under is he under the current?
If the line is like 5-something wins, they win more than that. I can tell you that now.
Yeah, it was 5.5.
Oh no, they'll win more than that because quiet as it's kept. The only team in their division that's kind of consistent as of late is Buffalo. New England is hype, man. You got that. They build all that hype on that rookie. Like, oh, he sold this, he sold that. Nah, bro. You got
Drake May?
Yeah. That's like
Jagots.
But they're in transition. They fired the black guy after one season and brought in Vrabel to coach the Patriots. And I think Aaron Glenn's gonna run the ball right down the division's throat.
Yeah, it's 5.5. 5.5 wins is man. They got no love for Aaron Glenn and Justin. If they'll
win
5.5 wins.
They'll win at least 6 games.
But that damn defense, man, you better come out. You better bring your lunch bill.
And I think Aaron Glenn, to what y'all be talking about, he's going to put Justin in the proper, since he is a defensive guy.
Yeah,
he's going to know how to, ball control, keep that clock running, man. It's okay to just run and get that first if you got to get it. We don't care what your throwing numbers look like. Let's just keep us in the game.
Remember, the Jets D fell off because the coach that they fired, when they fired him, their D was still real good. It was just their offense couldn't do nothing.
But your offensive coordination has to marry. All that has to marry one another.
Yeah, but they didn't have that when they fired old boy. He just took the brunt of the blame, and then their defense wasn't as good last year because he wasn't there.
Yeah. You remember that they tried to match the run and shoot with Buddy Ryan in the 46 defense? Like, who thought that would work?
Yeah.
You know what, though? They were doing real good. They were making it to the playoffs on a threat, except They end up playing.
But he ended up punching the offensive coordinator because
the defense was tired.
Yeah, yeah. But he knew what he signed up for. Your Chicago Bears NFL projected win totals is 9.5. Wait, that went up. That can't be right. That can't be right, can it? Bears 9.5 over under. Wow, that went up, bro. I should have bet it. I saw it much lower than that.
It was 8.5 or 8.
Yeah. It was 8.5. They got the Bears over under at 9.5. Are you guys believers?
Bear down.
Yeah,
FGB.
17 games, they can win 10.
So you would bet on the over?
If I had to bet the over, yeah. If I had to bet the over or the under, I'm betting the over.
Yeah, we'll see.
If it was at 10, then I wouldn't even bet. But if it was at 9.5, I'd bet at 10. They can win 10 out of 17. Come on. You got a whole different coaching staff that's supposed to be legit.
All these new guys in there.
Yeah, we'll see what happened in the draft.
Yeah, it's a lot you adding to that menu, man. A lot of locker room disruption.
You went from
hell, any disruption is better than what we had.
5 games. Yeah, we had better. Yeah, we still got Ryan Poles, and that's my problem.
But you got Ben Johnson who could help counteract some of
Well, I mean, I believe a lot of the decisions in the offseason and probably in this draft are going to be based on Ben Johnson. Ryan Poles can sit there and act like he's still running the damn show, but we know differently. We can see in free agency what's happening differently, where we went out and affected the offensive and defensive lines with our free agent players, and it's going to happen in the draft too. They're going to tailor this roster to whatever the hell Ben Johnson wants, and even Ryan Poles said that out of his own damn mouth. So he's on the clock, and I think you're going to see Ben Johnson's footprint on this team. So
are you taking the over or the under? We need your own record.
We're on 17 games.
That means they got to win 10 of them.
That will put us at 10-7, and we won.
I'm taking the under, bro. I'm tired of believing. I'm not giving up.
I'll take 10-7. I'll go with the over.
I'm going with 9-8, 8-9. I don't want to give you my final. I'm gonna rub my bum on the fence a little bit on this, but I'm definitely going under. I'll say that.
We get this running back, or we're gonna get a special player at 10. And if we move back, we're gonna get a couple players between moving back and maybe moving to get 3 players in the second round or 2 third round players. So I'm just looking at depth, and we fix a lot in free agency, but if you can attack a little bit more depth in the draft, that's good for this long season that they're going to play.
You saw Ryan Poles. Can't listen to the outside noise, guys.
He's an idiot.
All right. So the Jets, Justin, what is, because this is a big season for him, man. You know what I'm saying? He's getting passed around. You know what I'm saying? He's getting passed around. You know how he's getting passed around. This is big for him. So I think the Jets was a good move a long time ago. It's a good fit. I don't know why he was so happy to go to Pittsburgh. He should have told the Bears, man, send me to the Jets. I don't care if Aaron is there. He's 100 years old and he just busted his Achilles. That being said, what does a good season look like? How many wins are you thinking he's going to get in touchdowns? Because Justin, give him 17 games. Let's see what he does.
Well, you're looking at a new situation with them as far as the coaching staff. A good season for them would be the same as the Bears, 10-7, 9-8, with a new quarterback, a new head coach, defensive-minded head coach, which is what they were. They were living on in the past, but they had no options at quarterback. They were working with Sam Darnold, who wasn't ready to be a starting quarterback. So I see him at 9-8, 10-7, and
so a wild card berth.
Yeah. I mean, come on, they can't win a division with Buffalo in it.
Is Justin throwing for 3,500 yards, getting, what does it look like? Y'all talk to me. Is he running for 700 yards? For that to work, what does that look like? Because I can't see them winning more than, they got him 5.5, bro. Man, Justin be lucky again, matriculate another 7-8 wins and get blamed for everything. No, okay, I'll be honest. They got Duke. So I'll say 8 wins, 9 wins, flirting with the wild card. I think that'll be good for his career. Flirt with it.
He's gonna run for a lot of yards. He's gonna run for a lot of yards this year. I think he went into Pittsburgh because he felt they didn't have no quarterback, and he'd have his best chance of being able to show what he could do to create his next contract or whatever. The problem with that was Mike Tomlin's mindset, which to me still didn't make any damn sense, because if he was so worried the difference between a 4th round and a 6th round pick, that's your whole mindset, to bench this guy who was 4-2. And if you equate what Fields does well against what Russell Wilson does well, it was a push. So you couldn't, when Russell Wilson started struggling,
and you sat there and watched Russell Wilson lose 6, 7 straight games.
You could have put Fields back out there. You still had time, right?
That's how you lose a football team, bro. That's when you start getting too arrogant.
That's how they lost Fields in the offseason, because they had a chance. They had an offer for him, and Fields was like, "No, let me go and test the waters." Since they screwed him,
he was there.
He was like, "Nah, let me go test the waters." And the first one he got, he jumped in with that where he felt it was a chance where he could play the whole season as the starter, as opposed to coming back to Pittsburgh and he couldn't trust Tomlin. That's basically what it came down to.
If he goes off, now in the perfect world, he goes off and becomes their long-term starter. They're getting to the playoffs, maybe getting to AFC championships, him and the new coach. This could be a marriage in the future. And I pray, which brings me to my next question. Who's going to have the better season next year? Our generational quarterback, halter top Caleb Williams, or Justin Fields? Wins-wise and overall, this guy had a better season at quarterback.
I believe they'll be flirting around with being similar in record. Looking at 10-7 for the Bears, maybe 9-8 for the Jets. So Justin has the experience over what the Bears are going into, but I believe the Bears will have a better roster. They're both going to be rock solid defensively, and with the addition of Ben Johnson, the head coach, you'll have a little bit more dynamic as far as the offense is concerned in Chicago, so more blocking. So I think it'll be pretty even as far as those two quarterbacks are concerned in the team's record for this season.
And Diesel, before you respond, well said, Ace. Jets, Patriots, Dolphins, Bills. So really the only quarterback and team that you're really over concerned with would probably be the Bills that he's going up against. I don't look at that division and say Justin can't go in there and beat a Drake May or beat a Tua, you know what I mean? And then maybe show it what he could be doing. And I'm just like this drop dead quarterback in Buffalo if I had the pieces around me. This is a good move for Justin. And then you look at the Bears with our quarterbacks going up against is the Lions over under 10.5, Packers over under 9.5, and the Vikings with the new quarterback. So what's the season look like, Diesel, for Justin? And what do you predict, rather? And who's going to have a better season, JF1 or Caleb?
Well, I mean, they both could have real good seasons. But again, Justin's is going to be kind of a mixture of what he does well. So he'll have more rush yards as opposed to not as much passing yards, right? Caleb should have more passing yards, but I think a lot of Caleb's success for this upcoming season is really going to be determined on if the Bears draft a running back. I can't stress it enough that the roster we have, to me, none of those dudes should be starting. If they are, it's by default because of injury or something to that effect. But they need to draft a running back who they have in mind that running back is going to start, Swift would be a great backup, and he can start occasionally if your running back's out or gets hurt. And then, the rest of them fall in line. Roshan could be third string, and then whoever else you get is a special team.
Right, before you go, Ryan Poles should have kept David Montgomery. Go ahead.
Yeah, we said that a while ago.
Montgomery,
he's the type of running back he is. He gets hurt quite often now. But that being said, that too. I think that the Bears. I mean, it could be either or, bruh. If Fields has a whole lot of rush yards and not a lot of turnovers to go along with what he would do passing, and if Caleb has a lot of passing yards, and we seen him, he don't turn the ball over that much.
He's got to cut those sacks in half at least, though.
That's the part that's why we got this dude. That's why we got the head coach to help him where he doesn't take those sacks that he shouldn't have to take. So I don't know, bro. That's a toss up, man, because they're both should be in prime position.
If I'm a head coach and we're going into the fourth quarter and you've already taken 6 or 7 sacks, that's no different in my mind than me going into the fourth quarter and you've already thrown 3 or 4 interceptions, bro. Seriously, you just out there you ain't seeing it. You ain't seeing it today. You know what I mean? We're gonna get the backup in, and and Johnson will do it.
Yeah, I don't see that happening this year. I think you got a change of
short up that line
mentality. You're short up the line. You got to change the concept. I mean, come on, man. We know Eberflus had no idea what he was doing. We fired the offensive coordinator. We brought in a new offensive coordinator who was running the same scheme as the last damn offensive coordinator with just a little bit of tweaks here and there. So nobody there had any idea what the hell they were doing. So now we're starting off fresh with a new coordinator. You got a damn former head coach on the defensive side of the ball that knows what the hell he's doing.
Got you a defensive tackle.
You got Bieniemy in the damn running backs room, and on your own offensive side of the ball, you got Antoine Randall L working in the wide receiver. Come on, man, as assistant head coach, there's no assimilation to that damn horrific coaching staff you had for the last 3 years going into this season. So you got to expect the mentality to be different.
I got you. The dog mentality. The coaches are all dogs. They brought in a lot of dogs. Wasn't all this culture.
And that's why I say the locker
I'm softer than him next to me. Yeah,
it's not going to be where you got them like, well, we all these captains. We got 6, 7 captains. No, not going to have that.
Yeah,
not going to have that.
That's an inexperienced, stupid ass head coach that will come out there and make 8 captains, and especially your damn rookie quarterback as the captain of your damn football team.
And then you're a new head coach, and you don't even hire former head coach on your staff like Ben Johnson did. Do you know what I mean? That's an arrogance of and I'm going to give everybody a chance. We kept saying that Justin had a new head coach, a new GM who hired all the first-time coordinators. This is what they were doing, bro.
First-time talent evaluators. All these guys were new, and nobody knew what the hell they was doing. And let me say this again, FGB and fire Ryan Poles, and we got to bring somebody in that knows what the hell they're doing personnel-wise. And if it's Ben Johnson's guy, bring in Ben Johnson's guy, depending on how the hell they progress this season.
Wait a minute. So, Ace, you're asked the question right now. I'm in the Hallis McCaskey family, and I'm saying we just sat down, and it's your opportunity. Should we fire Ryan Poles today before the draft? What's your vote?
You damn right. I'm firing him today, and whoever the hell Ben Johnson want to bring in, we've already upgraded the team. And I know these were Ben Johnson's picks and his ideas to bring in these damn offensive linemen, defensive linemen, and players and coaches. So we don't need Ryan Poles. Fire Ryan Poles, and let's get a real general manager here in the Chicago Bears organization.
Diesel.
So let me take it to this. So what a lot of those coaches do, right? Whether they're coordinators, head coaches, whatever. They tend to get people who they've been accustomed to or worked with, right? And in an indirect way, it's job security. So when you get out of a job or something at another spot, sooner or later, one of those people that you work with, they're gonna pick you up, right? They're gonna put you on their staff because they're like, hey, I can trust that guy. I work with him. I know what he does. So Poles fell victim to that as the GM when he brought in a lot of those people from the Colts that he worked with, right? Now, yeah, Eberflus, great defensive coordinator, but shouldn't have been a head coach. They had no idea how to balance the two, right? So he fell victim to that. He's lucky because a lot of people don't get the second chance to go ahead and do a reset, right? So now he's done a reset. He's got the head coach in place and exactly what the head coach is doing. Hey, he's getting people that he's worked with, that he's accustomed to, right? And again, that's like job security.
It's the NFL, man. You bring in those no names to be your running backs coach, to be your quarterbacks coach, your second assistants, and if they show themselves after a while, that's fine. When you're a new coach, you got to go get veteran head coach around. If they hired me on the Bulls, I'd be crazy to say I'm going with Torrey's going to start out as my defensive coach, and Ace is going. But they'd be in the program. Diesel would be in the program, and as we're
gonna work our way up, we're gonna learn from those veteran guys you bring in.
Correct.
Well, again, and that can be said too, like, hey, you can either do it that way or you can do it another way. You know, you can get that guy a chance early before he's had a chance to.
It was everybody getting a chance, though, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was everybody getting. That was the problem.
Chances like that.
I mean, what the Bears did, what Flus did, what Ryan did, everybody was getting a chance at once, and they had nobody around there, to Ace's previous rant, that knew what the heck they was doing and what was going on.
Well, again, Flus should have just been the D coordinator. He should have been the D coordinator.
So are you firing Ryan Poles today if you had the opportunity?
No, because I think the stuff that he's got assembled right now is looking good for right now.
Wasn't his decision. If he didn't fire Flus after last year when they got rid of Justin Fields, then he should have been fired this year.
Man, but this the Bears, man. They don't just let you fire people like that, bro. It's not like a regular organization where you can go and say, I'm firing this head coach. No,
that's what I'm saying. They're coming to you and saying, hey, look, you got carte blanche. You can fire Poles right now and go out and get your guy. You're going to say, no, I'm staying with Poles?
We got a president of the team.
I'm staying with him. And look, if you fired that man right now, it's the same type of effect of Denver firing their head coach right before the playoffs.
But that's what Ace is saying. He can let the head coach get somebody to be the GM.
The fuck out of here. The head coach ain't about to hire the GM.
So you don't agree with that? But he's drop dead gorgeous. He's smart. He's the next.
Hell, I don't give a fuck about smart. No, you don't go hire your boss. No,
we have a president of this organization now.
The president plays his position like that. Do you come to the president when it's about the dollars and cents? Our
president's on sports shows talking sports.
Yeah. Well,
you don't hire the head coach. Don't go and hire.
I don't see any other team presidents doing that.
Our president had our general manager sitting in the corner with a dunce cap on at the end of last season, and he should have fired his ass after that press conference.
Yeah, air quotes ran the video.
But he didn't. So he didn't, and he's here.
So now we got a new head coach. He could have still fired that guy and still brought somebody in that's going to run this team better than the hell.
He could have got his ass fired too. The president. He could have been fired.
If Ben Johnson doesn't work out, your next head coach is going to be Eric Bieniemy, and that's what he was promised to take that job.
No, he won't. No, this the Bears. Don't forget.
Ben Johnson's making $13 million a year. He's not going anywhere.
I mean, if he doesn't work out, he doesn't work out. I'm saying it might be 3 years. It might be 3 years, but you got Bieniemy in there. If he's still there, they're going to give him the job, bro.
I don't see Bieniemy being here that long.
Well, they don't like him.
That's why he took the running backs coach position, because he can move up to offensive coordinator somewhere or head coach somewhere else other than Chicago. And it's not a lateral move. If you make lateral moves in the NFL, you got to compensate the other team. But if you move up to offensive coordinator, you don't have to compensate the team. If you move up to head coach, you don't have to compensate the other team. It's a promotion. So that's why he took the running backs coach job. So I don't see him being here that many years. Maybe 1 or 2 seasons.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. But I say this: the coaching staff is definitely much better. The locker room is definitely greatly improved, and they brought in some dogs too, veterans.
Poles some credit. I mean,
I'm not giving him shit. He should be fired.
Yeah. Ace is saying Ben Johnson and Kevin Warren has made all those moves that just happened that you said.
No, because then he would have just got rid of Poles. So that's not true. That's not true because he would have just fired him. If he was doing all of the decision making, he would have just fired him. So no, that's not true. If you're gonna criticize him when he screw up, you got to give him some credit for the people.
He's been screwing up since he's been here. His first pick, Kevin White, bum. He didn't support JF1. All those bums he brought in, the tackle from what's that team from Tennessee? That guy didn't even want to play football. He gave him $30 million.
He was proven before he got here.
Yeah.
Don't ask me what happened when he got here.
Yeah. Everybody in the league knew he didn't want to play football, except for the damn Bears. Fire Ryan Poles.
Hey, don't forget about the receiver. We gave up the number 2 a second round pick for. Yeah. And then he just let him go for nothing because he was listening to the outside noise. And then he just sat there. Yeah.
Now, what
and the quarterback like Claypool.
Wait a minute. You talking about Kevin White? Ryan Poles didn't draft no Kevin White.
Why
are you trying to put that on him?
No, Kevin White.
He only been here a couple of years. You trying to put all that stuff on him? He ain't got nothing to do with that. Kevin White was before him.
I think that was his first draft pick.
No, that's not his first draft pick. His first draft pick.
Let's go back to the records.
2022, his first pick was Kyler Gordon. Second round pick. And then Jaquan Brisker. And then the future Hall of Famer.
There we go.
Bayless Jones. Right. It was his first 3 picks.
Okay.
Because he didn't have a first round pick in 2020.
I stand corrected. But that Bayless Jones pick, fire.
That's Hall of Fame Jones. Right. That's right. I guarantee you put him in this new system. Get up off of Velas. They moved off him too. If you're going to take him in the 3rd round, he's athletic, running a 4.32. You don't have no other dogs in there. And you're going to scapegoat him because he was making mistakes like everybody else was making on that team and had all those dumb coaches.
Yeah. Dominic Robinson.
He got Braxton Jones.
He's gone.
That's a good move in the 5th. Dominic Robinson, how'd that work out?
I mean, but these are 5th, 6th round picks. So, I can't blame him. You can't blame for those guys being bums.
But that was a good draft to Dezo's point. Now let's look at the next draft. Darnell Wright. I thought he should have taken Jalen Carter.
They moved down and picked Darnell Wright.
This kid's all pro. He's going to be all pro for the next 15 years, Dezo.
Allegedly, not here.
All right. You got Gervon Dexter. How's that working out?
Yeah,
he's a decent
he's improving. Yeah, he's a backup.
Okay, he's got Pookie Stevenson. How's that working out?
Yeah,
Stevenson is borderline. If somebody can coach him right, he could be a Pro Bowler.
Okay, Zach Pickens. Now let's look at all these picks. You can't say these picks don't matter because this is where you win.
Oh, these picks matter. I mean,
Tyler Scott. They didn't even use him. Look at these guys he's taking down here. What's he doing?
Terrell Smith. He's a kid. Zach Pickens. The 3rd round.
I like Terrell Smith. I like this.
The 3rd round has been killing us every year. Tyler Scott's not even playing.
But look down here. He never hits a home run down here like some of these Ja'Tyre Carter. He never hits. He never hits on this.
Yeah, I mean you got to have some wins in those later rounds.
Yeah. Okay, look at this. Dezo, Karan Amanjaji.
Another 3rd round pick, project. Hurt.
The way he took the punter. He's generational.
He's generational punter.
Punter's good. Caleb Odunze.
He's team MVP.
Austin Booker was part of the deal to get Jalen Carter. So we got that extra pick. That's what we moved down for to get Austin Booker and Darnell Wright over Jalen Carter. Come on, bro. That's a fireball offense in itself.
The 3rd round, man. He's been losing in the 3rd round every season. Man.
And Dezo wants to give him another chance.
No, I'm saying that since they kept him, right? Now you don't get rid of him, and you give him credit for some of the people that he's brought in right now.
Yeah, but I asked you if you were running the team and they came to you, you were the president, and said, you could fire Ryan Poles today, would you? You sat right there and you said no.
Right, I wouldn't have fired him. I said if they were going to, meaning the Bears, if you were going to fire him,
if
I wouldn't.
you're Kevin Warren, that's what I'm saying.
No, I wouldn't fire him. I give him this draft, these new people.
See what
Just
I'm saying?
don't try to slight them and not give them credit for if they're successful. Then what you gonna say? Oh, he had nothing to do with it.
He didn't.
No, see, he
a
already
train
got
ch-
that in. He already got that in his head.
A trained chimp could have drafted a Caleb Williams #1 or Jaden Daniels #1.
No, a trained chimp would have kept Justin Fields like you wanted to.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
That's what you wanted to do, right?
I want to keep Justin Fields and load up our team with talent.
Right,
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. To make up for his deficiencies, right? Yeah.
No, the team deficiencies.
Make up for his deficiencies.
Come on, even after Justin Fields, we still need a damn offensive line that we had to adjust this year.
What did I say?
The horrible coaching he just outlined.
He's gonna bounce around.
Come on, man.
Like a ping pong.
It was a terrible situation that Justin was in. And he didn't have an offensive line. He didn't have a coach. He didn't have a running back.
What happened when he went? What happened when he went to Pittsburgh, Ace? What did he do? What was his?
He went 4-2.
Yeah,
playing at Pittsburgh, and then they took him out because they wanted.
He never seen the light of day again.
He was on pace to win.
He should have went into the military. You know why? Because they run all day till the running's done. That's what he wanted to do with the Bears. I want to run.
No, he wasn't going to stand back there and get sacked 68 times.
No, he wants to run.
His other option was to stand back there, which is proven in the Cleveland system, in the Cleveland game.
To run.
Behind that line, if you stand back there like Caleb's doing, you're going to be in NFL history in sacks.
I'm going to run. That's why Tomlin said, hey, I don't need to see no more.
Can you imagine if Justin got sacked 68 times? What this guy would be saying?
I don't need to see no more.
Just standing back there.
Get on over there.
Standing back there, just getting sacked 68 times.
If Justin got sacked 68 times, Diesel, you'd have been on his bone. You can't even lie about that.
I wouldn't care how many times he want to run when a dude's wide open and he could throw it to him. He'd want to run instead. That's what Tomlin was like. I've seen enough of you.
Caleb doing the same thing. He's commits wide open.
No.
The running back standing there
getting sacked.
Wide open.
I'm watching the tape
I'm watching the tape all year. Them cats don't be open when he not letting it go on short patterns.
What?
They
not check down like that. Wide open.
I'm talking about with Justin Fields.
Holding the ball.
Talking about middle patterns, semi-deep patterns. They wide open. He looking at them. But then he just take off running.
Well,
that wasn't the case with Caleb, man. No,
he just like, I'm not going to throw to that guy. I'm just going to wait till that guy gets down the field 20 yards. Oh, damn, I'm getting sacked. Because I don't have an offensive line.
He back there, pat the ball. What kind of fingernail polish I'm going to use? What color I'm going to use today after the game? That's got to be going on. I sat there and watched him get sacked like 12 times in one game, bro.
You know what, man?
I started thinking he's either concussed or retarded.
Enough of you. That's what's wrong with Fields. Tom said, hey, man, what the hell is wrong with you? But you want to just keep running the ball, don't you? You want to have a seat right over here.
And then he put Russell out there and lost 6 straight games.
Right. And then look, the coordinator, all of the other teammates come, hey, coach, put him back in. Nah, man, I seen enough of him.
Yeah.
He just want to run.
Yeah, we want to run. We want to give him a 6th-round pick instead of the 4th-round pick.
Put Fields as a starting H-back. This is a running back. Don't put him as the quarterback. He's an H-back.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about that anymore. He's starting somewhere else.
No, he's going to be an H-back in the Jets. That's what the coach is saying. He's like, I'm going to use him the way he need to
win some damn football games and put my big bad defense out there to
I'll tell you what, Shady McCoy loves Diesel. He probably gets half his Fields material watching this show because he's not doing no research.
I see something in this guy. I'm going to have to
use all his takes tomorrow. I'm going to use all his takes tomorrow because Shady ain't doing no research, bro.
I just got some more information on Justin Fields playing for the Jets, and we're going to talk about him today.
All right, man. Well, hey, great chat. Hey, Diesel, give me your final words, and then I'll throw it to you, Ace.
I hope Fields. I hope he does good again. I think it'll be a different balance though. It'll be more. He could have. I mean, did he ever have He'll probably have he'll run for the most yards as far as a quarterback. He should have the most rush yards next year.
No,
as
he
far
won't.
as the QB. You think Josh Allen or somebody gonna beat him?
Your guy in Baltimore is gonna beat him every year.
No, he don't run as much no more.
Yeah, he will.
No. He does more running
Jaden
to
Daniels.
pass.
How about your boy Jaden Daniels?
Yeah.
I think he gonna end up getting hurt. That stuff he was doing, they gonna get him. They gonna get him. I think he gonna get hurt. But I really
he
feel
knows what he's doing out there, bro.
he does. But he also gonna get his ass hurt. Fields, if he starts most of the games next year, he'll be the top rushing QB in the league, flat out. Especially after what the coach said, how he wants to use him. I think he will be, and it'll lead to success for them. It should. They should finish. They got a chance to finish second in their division. Because I don't believe in Tua. He gets hurt too much. If I was the Dolphins, I'd draft a quarterback. I might draft Shador.
Yeah, there's been some talk about that.
Yeah, I would probably draft Shador.
Think about that. They got the Miami ties. You know, Deion could come back and around all the cocaine.
They already got a yacht down there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but outside of that, man, I hope Fields, hope he plays well. He got a little 2-year, $20 million, which is around the number I told y'all.
2 years, 40.
40
No. He told us that number. No, you were one of the guys saying you got to pay him all this money.
No. I'm talking about after the Bears. After the Bears, I'm talking about when he was going to be a free agent. I was like around that $20 million range, between 15, 20. That's what you would pay him, and don't give him like I said, matter of fact, I said give him a guarantee for a couple of years around 15 to 20. And that's what he got.
That's what he had with the Bears.
Or 40. So hey, I hope he does good. Just so y'all
he
could
be on our roster right now for that same amount of money. It's the point that all of us Hall guys were saying. You'd have turned around and had the Hall, you'd have had everything, you still would have had Justin Fields, and you could have still brought in the nail painter. And when he started standing out there getting sacked, hey kid, we're gonna sit you down, we're gonna put Justin in the game.
Nah, he's got a commitment to the armed forces to run. It's like the Admiral David Robinson, even though he's playing pro ball, it was like he's still obligated to the military. It's the same thing with Justin's mentality. He wants to run.
That's like saying Michael Jordan with his 44-inch vertical, all he does is want to jump. You can't handcuff a person. If you ran a 4.4 40, you'd be an idiot not to run.
Especially when nobody's blocking.
All day till the run is done.
These are his final words. Let him do his Fields bashing. We gotta stay out of this.
Hey, he'll run all day, man. Hey, he gonna have to run when the snow and the weather out there gets bad in that stadium. He gonna have to run. That's what he's gonna do.
Do they have turf or grass in over there? Turf.
Field turf.
Yeah, that's gonna help him run.
It ain't gonna matter. It's like, hey, them things they hoods get accustomed to running on that stuff.
Justin should be on turf. Yeah, man. He might have an explosive season. Bro.
Well, it's better. He should have more traction and quickness than he did with us.
That's why he always played good at Detroit.
And Pittsburgh, natural grass.
Yes, but when he played at Detroit, when he played on turf, man, do the research. He had some of his biggest games, bro.
And he's a Big Ten player.
He should, but he gonna run. I'm telling you, he can run. It's like he coming out the blocks.
Run, Jesse, run.
Yeah.
He's got a running back and he's got a wide receiver there, and then they're gonna do some.
They got two good running backs. So they got two good running backs. Yeah. They can do a lot of that read option.
They're gonna
fake it.
You think they're gonna be in the read option? Are the Bulls?
Oh, they're gonna do that all day long.
Are the Bulls making the playoffs, bro?
Yeah, they already in the playoffs.
No, they're in the play-in. Don't do that.
Yeah. Well, that's the same thing.
No.
It's the same thing.
It's the play-in.
Okay, but don't they got to lose at least 2 games, right? Because they got a home court.
They got to win 2 games.
Yeah.
Right, but they can lose. Isn't it one team?
They can lose 1.
They can lose 1.
Oh,
yeah,
they overachieved. Hey, they overachieved already. When you let the people go that they had.
They didn't have anybody.
Are they going to matriculate out of the play-in and make it to the playoffs, bro?
It depends on who we playing. Who are we playing?
Miami, first round.
We can beat them. They ain't the same team no more.
It's going to be Miami. Who are those teams at the bottom, Ace? We was just looking at it.
Atlanta and Orlando.
Yeah, those are the teams you're talking about. These
Oh, well, I don't think we can. Orlando would be a bad matchup. I don't.
They can beat
even
Orlando.
Though we got a lot of more firepower, I still don't think it's a bad matchup. We can beat Miami.
They can beat both.
Miami ain't the same. They got soft players now, man.
They can beat all those teams.
Soft players.
So you got the team list. You're not going to sit there. You're not going to sit there and rub your bum on the fence, are you? Are they going to make it through the play-in and matriculate to the playoffs, the next round, or not?
If they're playing Miami, yes. If they're playing Orlando, I don't think so. Who's the other team?
Atlanta.
The Hawks?
Yeah.
50-50. 50-50. The Hawks can score sometimes just like the Bulls. So that could go either way. Orlando, I don't think they would beat them, and I think they would beat Miami.
Can they get 2
and
wins?
It's a home game.
Yeah, can they get 2 wins out of those games?
Wait a minute. Damn, 2. Well, then who would they play after they win one of them
They're
games?
going to play all them. They need 2 wins.
They had to play Cleveland, I think.
Yeah, if they lose 2, they're eliminated.
No, you ain't going nowhere after. If you got to play 2 win-in games, 2 games to get you in, I don't think so.
If you win them both, you might be a 7 seed, then you won't be playing Cleveland. You'll be playing Boston in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, it don't matter. Either team's going to kick their ass.
I got the Bulls getting out of the play-in, and I have our Bulls playing Cleveland or Boston, and I have our Bulls winning 1 to 2 games in that series.
Is that success?
I think they
I'm just making a prediction here. Yeah, that's success for them.
I'm just asking because this is what we predicted at the beginning of the year, that they were going to be in a play-in game.
Yeah.
And this is where they're at, and they're gonna lose. Either sooner or later they're gonna lose, and then what's gonna happen next year?
And we're still flirting with Lonzo Ball.
This guy wanted the lottery pick. He was like, I don't want them to play well. That's what Mercer kept saying. He wanted them to get the lottery pick.
I'm not saying what I want them to do. I'm telling you what I'm predicting is going to happen.
No, you were saying that you didn't want them to start winning these games that they've been winning.
Trade all of them. I would have traded Vukovic. All of them would have been gone.
They definitely would have traded Ball.
They started winning like that once they got rid of Rosen and Levine, right?
Yes, you saw that. Right? No, I wasn't shocked. I've been telling you. I moved off.
He's capping.
Ace, am I capping? I moved off Levine. I moved off the Rosen.
He was like, I'm glad they're gone. We're gonna get that pick, and we can try to get that guy from Duke and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Everybody wants that guy.
Nobody thought that they would start winning.
But I thought they were better off without those guys. Let's put it that.
And Kobe turnover.
And they're better off without those guys.
All of a sudden, he's found a way to make up for his turnover.
Because those guys are out of the way. He doesn't have to worry about feeding Levine and these guys.
Yeah, he still turns the ball over. It's just, score more points, get him little rebounds.
Justin runs a 4-4. You don't want him to run. You don't want this guy to turn the ball over every now.
I never knew that the basketball players were running 4-4s and 4-3s and 4-5s. I didn't know that, right?
I think he needs to work a little bit more on his conditioning going into the season.
And for the record, I think Jordan had like a 46 or 48-inch vertical.
That's what I'm saying. And all he's doing is jumping. So you got a guy with a 4-4 speed, he'll be a fool not to use that, bro. That's part of his repertoire.
Well, no, I'm just saying that's great.
If Tom Brady had a 4-4, Tom Brady would have averaged about 900 yards a game.
But you know what?
A season.
He wants to use his speed like he's getting chased by them animals in the Sahara. He wants to run all day. He's not stopping.
Can you say that on? Is that racist?
What's racist?
Yeah, I think it's racist.
What's racist?
Reverse racism is, I think.
Oh, please! I say that about anybody who wants to just keep running. You want to keep running? Oh, what are you? One of them big cats in the Sahara?
One of them big cats in the Sahara.
Getting chased. Nah, he wants to run. That's all he want to do. Run.
So what do you think about DeMar and Zach LaVine in the play-in game over there in the Western Conference?
Play-in. Of course they're in the play-in game.
They look like how the Bulls used to look.
Yeah,
They got
play.
all them offensive type of guys and not an ounce of defense.
So you can unload all those salaries and still get in the play-in. This is why I was saying years ago how to figure this out is the Bulls management.
Yeah, they need role players definitely for Donovan to coach you, but now you have better options.
Bulls got more upside because they're not paying out a whole lot
Wait a
of
minute.
salary.
You signed off on Giddey coming here, and then you don't want to bring in John Morant, all because he makes hand gestures. Giddey was doing an R. Kelly out there, but you're okay with that.
No, with Giddey, it was legal. It was turned out that there was no charges.
This guy hasn't broken any laws. John Morant's legal.
No,
charges. Okay, all right.
You talking about you bringing up off the court
all right,
stuff,
it's
so
messing
you
up the
don't want to
program.
go there, right?
He's a pookie.
I don't want to go get into his off the court stuff and all of that stuff.
There's no charges.
No, I respect that. I'm just saying we could take a chance on a Josh Giddey, but we don't want to take a chance on potentially the best player in the NBA. You guys,
made some social media.
He's not potentially the best. Well, he's got the potential, but he's not.
Yes, he's got the potential.
Yeah. But
who else do we have on our roster that has the potential?
Matos.
They gotta have some more seasoning. More games.
Who on our roster has the potential of a Ja Morant? He's Jaden Daniels out there in the NBA.
Yeah.
No, he's been in the league too long. He's been in the league like 4 or 5 years, man. Like 4 or 5 years. And you would think that by this time, things that he keeps doing to take away from his basketball ability, he wouldn't be doing them anymore.
Yeah, we'll fix that here in Chicago. We'll get his dad on the south side at the 50-yard line.
We'll have him room with R. Giddey, so maybe we can keep him in line. Like
and the Bulls got him. It wouldn't mean
Hernandez
it wouldn't be that big of a thing to me because I still don't watch. Told you I ain't watched them all season on the local channel.
All right. Wrap up your final words here, and then we're gonna get it to Ace there, fella.
And the same thing. Hey, we ain't talking about the Cubs.
Well, we'll save it for next week.
The
Cubs watching.
They beat the brakes. They beat the brakes off the Dodgers last night.
They're out here right now. Save it.
The Sox watching.
Yeah, save it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're right, but you're right. I am supposed to be watching the games. That's a good point. Who's winning the NBA championship? And if you're gonna start rubbing your fence on the bum, just wrap up your bum on the fence. Just wrap up your final words.
Man, this is a tough one. I believe whoever comes out the East should win it, whether it's Cleveland or Boston. The West is wide open. There's like five teams that can go to the finals.
Yeah.
OKC, Lakers. I don't count Denver because of the coaching stuff. So OKC, Lakers
don't count.
Houston.
LeBron will be hurt.
What's the other good team that's out west?
OKC, Houston,
Houston, Lakers. Minnesota's still in the mix because they got the talent on the roster.
Yeah, they can't put it together.
Yeah, the coaching ain't got them right all season, but I think whoever wins the East or win the finals, and I had that between Cleveland and Boston. So whichever one of them win it, I think they
clearly rubbing your bum on the fence. You could have spared us all of that.
Well, you go rub your bum on.
I mean, I'm upset. I asked you who's going to win, and you said
I told you whoever wins the East, Cleveland or Boston.
All right. Well, whoever wins the East or the West I'm choosing. Whoever wins the East or the West is going to be the championship. That's what I'm choosing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Whoever comes out of the East.
Who do you have coming out the West? Now, I ask you a direct question. Who do you have?
Oklahoma City Thunder.
Okay.
Easy. Who do I have coming?
You think they're winning the championship?
Who do I have coming out of the East? The Boston Celtics. Who do I have winning in the finals? The Oklahoma City Thunder.
So that's all you had to say. OKC is winning.
Yeah, I said it, but you can't.
Yeah, okay.
You know? Okay. You know what I mean? I said it. And you said whoever comes out of the West or the East will be will win it all.
What I said whoever comes out the East, whether it's Cleveland or Boston.
Okay, so suppose somebody else comes out of the East.
Then they pop.
Then who's going to win the championship?
I wouldn't know because then both my picks are pop.
You guys, this is an example of rubbing your bum on the fence.
I'm pop. Hey, look, low key, Ace Mercer's out there rooting for the bum and the rest of that team. Yeah,
No,
he's low
he's
key,
not.
low key.
Well, he did say he was going to buy his Ken doll, so you know.
Yeah, he's like, I want the Lake Show. I want the Lake Show to do it.
But that's but he said that was for collection purposes.
This guy's capping. I just told him who's going to win it all, and he did not say who's going to win it all. And then he says that he can tell me who I'm rooting for, but can't tell me who.
Well, I said low key that you really like it. The Lakers. But I know he's watching all of their post game stuff and all of the different things going on that we don't get to see here.
He's watching the Bronny G League game.
Inside information. Yeah. He's
I would watch a Bronny G League game before I watch that.
Hey, and they still got him on the regular roster, don't they?
Yeah.
Only for home games. Because on the road game, LeBron's living his triple life, allegedly.
Oh, so he doesn't come up for the road
No,
games.
he can't travel
where
with
the fans can get on him.
No,
like a regular NBA player.
No, where he could potentially see his dad tricking off.
Oh.
So what's the over
That's
under
what that's all about.
Over under on Bronny making the playoff roster?
No, because they got to go on the road.
Yeah, he just said if they're not letting them play on the road to get that harassment from fans from another city, he shouldn't be on the roster.
LeBron should have told the Clippers, if you take my son, I'll be on your team within 2 seasons. You know what I mean? And then we could watch LeBron playing against his son, and then he can have his fun on the road.
And he did say that if you want me, you got to get my son.
I said it first. I said if I was the Bulls management, I'd have drafted, you heard it here before all that came out. I said I would have drafted Bronny. Sure
and then
did.
He gets mad at Stephen A. when he makes comments in regards to him regarding basketball for his son when
not
he's
getting
the one,
out the way. Yeah,
he's the one said that. Like, you want me, you got to get my son. That's like a ultimatum.
So we're not right. So we were not going to talk about that. Like if Michael Jordan said that,
man,
we weren't going to talk about that.
If Jordan would have said, "Hey, look here, you getting Jeff or Marcus?"
Marcus, it would have been Marcus. Marcus was every bit as good as Bronny if they'd have just gave him a chance.
Yeah.
If Jordan would have bullied Marcus on the Bulls, he could have played it in the G League.
He was the left-handed one, right?
Yeah, but Jordan didn't want
college.
Marcus in that living room and traveling on the road with him.
If he would have said, "Hey, I'll come to your team, but my son comes with me, and he gonna start, or he gonna be the first one off the bench," they would have been like, "Come on."
Oh, they would have done it, yeah, but no.
But then he would have been ridiculed by all of the other players in the league. Like, man, that's what you're doing.
Jordan would have been. He would have been divorced from Juanita years earlier. And Marcus would have been messing around with Pippen's wife, and the whole thing would have been in shambles. Yeah, the whole thing. Right, but go ahead, man. Wrap them up.
I'm done, man. That's all. We didn't cover the whole.
Appreciate you popping up. To,
we knew you were gonna pop up.
We got 2 weeks. 2 weeks to the draft.
Yeah. We're going running back.
We try to do some baseball.
Ashton Genty.
Poe said he's finally figured out not to listen to the outside noise, so maybe we'll have a good draft this time.
Yeah, maybe polls will pop up on the show. Like I can address him directly.
If by some minor miracle we're able to draft Ashton, I could see us winning 12 games.
Man, move up and get me a dog.
If we were able to get that dude, I could see us winning 12 games. Just because of the pressure that he gonna put on other teams.
Yes.
And that will free up and open up a lot of stuff. But
Pose, if you want to keep your job, move up and get a dog.
Hopefully the Raiders see somebody else that maybe they go after Shador. Or maybe they plan it that way so they can get him. And
he might end up in Miami, man. That'd be a good move. And then Dion, you know what I'm saying? That'd be a good. I think he might end up in Dallas, bro. And then Dion gonna mess around and be the coach. That's just a move for Jerry Jones to make to keep Stephen A. talking about them all the time.
I mean, I don't mind him going to a lot of places. The reason I want him to go to the Raiders is because then that keep that running back alive for when we pick.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But if the Raiders don't pick a quarterback or they had them even the tight end that you mentioned from Penn State.
Yeah.
Possibly going to the Raiders.
If the Raiders don't get a quarterback, they'll probably move down, which means we can move up.
Traditionally the Raiders like running backs, so we'll see what happens.
They're gonna get them.
They're not gonna take them that high though.
Oh no. Oh no. Because old boy gone, Josh Jacobs gone.
Yeah,
so
but he's not generational necessarily. Like what's my man Saquon?
He was close to it when he came out. He wasn't like, but didn't he go in the first round, Josh Jacobs?
Oh yeah. He was the Khalil Mack pick.
Saquon was a number 2 overall and should have been number 1. I forgot who got drafted over him.
Was it a quarterback?
Yeah, of course.
Probably so.
It was. It's probably drop dead gorgeous.
Drop dead.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
Saquon, Josh Jacobs, all running backs who go in the first round, if they get to that second contract and get a decent contract, then that the pick was worth that pick in the first round. If they get to that second contract and get a full contract from whether it be that same team or another team.
Oh, your boy Baker Mayfield got drafted before Saquon.
Before him. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's drop dead gorgeous.
He's proven to be he had to work it the back way. Like Geno Smith. He was almost a bust, and then as a backup, he came back and got him a contract and stuff.
Yeah, he was in a bad situation.
So this notion about don't draft a running back early. Saquon went 2, Sam Darnold went 3, Denzel Ward, cornerback, went 4. He's pretty good. Bradley Chubb, defensive end, 5. Quentin Nelson, offensive guard. Josh Allen, number 7. So, you could have had a Josh Allen over a Saquon. That probably would have been a bigger move for your organization. And then we took Roquan.
Quentin Nelson. Quentin Nelson was like,
and your boy Poles moved off Saquon. That was the first thing he did.
Quentin Nelson like an all pro too.
Fire Poles.
Hey, them some good dudes all in that draft.
Nobody talks about that. He moved off. He moved off our dog Roquan Smith,
Hall of Fame.
Ryan Poles moved off of over money when we had the most available money. He didn't resign him. He negotiated with him. Roquan said he lied to him. And because he's in the middle of this rebuild and he was tanking for Caleb Williams. But we had the most cap space forever and ever and ever. And all they had to do was pay that man. He was the culture in your locker room. He was, you know what I'm saying? He was
a beast out there.
Room. Yeah.
Sideline to sideline.
Yeah. And for Flus to lay down and watch that happen.
At the time, I didn't really mind them getting rid of him. But once he was gone.
Getting rid of him.
Oh, because I was like, I don't want to pay him a whole lot of money, but then I realized his value when they brought in other guys.
Yeah, he don't want to get this brother paid.
Yeah, he didn't want the payers to have to come out.
Baltimore sure paid him.
Pocketbooks of Virginia McCaskey.
The guys they brought in, they weren't even up to par. And they probably paid them more than what it would have cost to keep him. So I was like, nah, that was a bad move. They should have kept him.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, y'all know that, but you also know that your boy Fields likes to run.
All right, Ryan Poles.
Till the running's done.
Fire Ryan.
That's why he wants to keep Poles, because Poles moved off Fields. That's why he's not as low on Poles. Yeah. All right, Denzel, man.
All right, y'all.
Yeah, we appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. We'll talk to you next week about some baseball.
All right, Ace, go ahead with your final words there, fella.
Yeah, my final words is shout out to JF1. I believe that he'll have a decent season. He's going into another new organization, another new offensive coordinator, another new program, another new head coach. So it takes time. It takes some some gelling with a team for you to win. And when you're in another situation, when you're in a new program, you got to figure it out. So 9-8, I believe, would be a good season for the Jets this year. They got a strong defense. They got a defensive-minded coach, and I haven't seen how his staff has been assembled, but you got a veteran quarterback. You got some veterans around the team on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. So probably, between 9-8 and
bro,
8-9 and 10-7, yeah.
Bro, me, you, and Diesel should put $100, and that'd be $300 as a mouthpiece included bet on the over, because obviously it's so low because they don't trust Justin Fields.
Yeah.
It's 5.5. Before that number goes up and they start seeing them zip the ball around in practice,
Yeah.
we probably should put 100 each. That's $300 large, and
On
then
the over.
at the end of the season we have some money.
Yeah. We can just collect that because that's easy money. That's easy money. With the team they got, defense they got, coach they got coming to kick some ass.
They don't believe in the Pookie coach either.
No, of course not. So yeah, you got to take the Pookie bet and put $300 toward the over on that team, and collect at the end of the season. Makes sense to me. Let me know when you want to make the bet.
Let's bet on Pookie, and if anybody can hear us, if they want to be a part of it, it's $100 entry fee, and we're gonna bet on Pookie. Go ahead.
We betting on Pookie to take the. Is it 5.5 or is it 6.5?
It's 5.5. They just got to win 6 games, bro.
Oh my gosh!
Yes. In that division,
I'm taking that all day long. I don't care what their schedule is. They can win 6 games in the damn division, at least 4, and then go out and pick up a couple wins against the other teams that they're playing against. Man, come on, man. Anyway, but yeah, and going back to the Karmello Anthony case, wow, just pray for that young man. We need to get out there and put the word out that he needs to be released from incarceration if he already hasn't been on this case. We know what the rules are in Texas about stand your ground, self-defense, and the research has shown that he was being bullied by these young football players, and for them to be collecting money off the death of the brother and coming out here like they're angels, and that there was never any problem. They didn't know this kid, and that that they weren't known bullies is absolutely atrocious.
And they walked up on him.
Yeah. I don't think he came out with a knife and was like, oh man, where are the bullies at? I'm gonna stab one of them and kill them. They walked up on him. They engaged him. They entered into combat with him where they thought it was going to be a fist fight. It didn't end up that way when you have 2 against 1, and there's no telling how many other guys were behind them, because they might have had the football team around the 10 or in the 10, and
RIP to the twin, man. He got in the heart, man. RIP to him and condolences to his family.
But those are unfortunately are the rules of engagement. And then had to be some adults in that tent, whether they saw what was going on or knew what was going on or saw these kids bullying other kids in the past. Somebody's got to take some accountability.
And you can't say Karmello is an adult who killed 2 kids because you're charging him as an adult. Then he was an adult who was approached by 2 adults. Go ahead.
Right, absolutely, and to put him in this situation and try and strike down a defense fund to help him get out of it and expedite his getting his case over with and moving on to the collegiate level with his 4.0 GPA and his multiple offers from universities around the country is just a travesty, and we don't know what's in the state's attorney and the prosecutor's hearts, or the family, or the twins that approached him in his tenant's heart. But unfortunately, it's seemingly always the same story, and we got to explain our way out of being attacked or bullied or persecuted upon, while you have these guys out here collecting money and living their lives and going on and saying how they're the victim, when clearly I believe that wasn't the case, and I believe that'll come out in future correspondence and future hearings about what actually happened in this particular scenario. So that's pretty much it for me. I'm standing on 10 toes down. I'm on fire Ryan Poles. I don't believe his input is what is going into making these decisions as far as the offensive line is concerned, as far as building players from the defensive line, going after guys that are considered dogs in the trenches. When we had 3 years to go after these players, we always had this cap space. We always had the ability to go after these players. When we left it to our general manager in the years past, he went out and found an offensive tackle that didn't even want to play damn football. He lost in the 3rd round every season as a general manager of the Bears. And yeah,
he promised us Patty Mahomes. Patty Mahomes never got sacked 68 times.
And never will. But, just to tell us that you're going to build this team through the draft and we're going to take the North and never give it back. You haven't built the team through the draft. It took a new coach to come in to build the coaching staff. It took the new head coach to come in and build the trenches. It took the new coach in to come in and change the mentality of the players. We heard the players, speaking of winning in the years past, but now they're talking about damn dominating. They're talking about winning some damn football games. And they're not talking about, doing podcasts and how bad the coaching situation is. I don't think we're going to have all this damn talking like we did last year, and the 8 captains running around and your damn quarterback running around with a damn C on his chest, fresh out of USC's locker room. So fire Ryan Poles as soon as you can.
First rookie captain in Chicago Bears history. I mean, he should be in the Chicago Bears Hall of Fame. I'd put his picture up right now.
Well, damn it, he's already
Gale Sayers, Brian Piccolo, Jim McMahon, Walking Paper, Richard Dent. We can go up and down the list of all our greats, and he's the first to be given that honor.
Yeah, and it was a detriment to the team. I think it led to the lack of cohesion in the locker room. It led to the season that they had when it started going bad for him. That he's running around with a C on his chest as the captain of your offense
and not taking his preparation seriously.
Yeah, and everybody wants to point to DJ Moore and how he quit on the team, and his emotions on the field, and how he felt about playing with this guy. But you made him the damn captain of the damn.
Before he threw a football, they gave him the playbook and named him starter. Eberflus did that.
And told him that you were going to get rid of your present quarterback, which led to DJ having his best season as a pro. So,
Hey, so I would have asked Eberflus. That's why they don't have us at Hallis Hall.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a starter. Yes. So if he pooped on your face, Coach, is he still the starter?
Yeah. I don't have any choice.
I mean, that's what happens when no matter what you do, employee, no matter what you do, we're going to give you your check.
Yeah. We're giving you the keys to the Lamborghini truck before you get your driver's license. Yeah.
Damn how everybody else feels about it.
Yeah. And this is a football team filled with veterans, players that you want to go out there and fight for you.
Milz.
When it goes bad, when you start losing games in a row, when you end up losing 5, 6, 7, 8,
almost got a Bears record.
Yeah,
consecutive losses. We've never felt that.
Games in a row. Yeah, that's absolutely. So
it's like when we had Bob Avellini at the helm. These are my final words, bro.
All right.
No, the black people in this country have been the victims of violence at the hands of the white man for 400 years. And following the ignorant Negro preachers, we have thought that it was godlike to turn the other cheek to the brute that was brutalizing us. And today, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is showing black people in this country that just as the white man and every other person on this earth has God-given rights, natural rights, civil rights, any kind of rights that you can think of when it comes to defending himself, black people we should have the right to defend ourselves also. And because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad makes black people brave enough, men enough to defend ourselves, no matter what the odds are, the white man runs around here with the doctrine that Mr. Muhammad is advocating violence when he's actually telling Negroes to defend themselves against violent people. I see.
Whoever said I see. He didn't agree. He didn't say I don't have no problem with none of that.
I see. Like, I don't understand it, but I see.
Hey, can we get an FGB, fella?
Damn, FGB to the highest level of effivity.
That's right. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Mouthpiece Included. We unraveled the promise of Justin Fields. Justin and the Jets.
JF1. Have a great season. We putting our money where our mouth is, JF1.
Yeah, and I wish, bro, they had the Bears on the schedule this season. But you know the league gonna have that drummed up probably next season.
For sure.
Yeah. I'd love to see Justin come back to Soldier Field on the hallowed grounds and throw for 350 yards, run for another 150, and a double overtime loss. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. All right, guiding the Jets to new heights. Hopefully, this is what's going to happen for the young man. We dissected the buzz surrounding the Liddell, the effeminate Liddell, the Ken Dow, which I'm going to order. And we navigated a host of this week's most heated sports and political Spolitricks topics. You know, the racially charged. It's like Fox is trying to start a race war out there.
Yeah,
and free Karmello Anthony.
Free him.
Yeah, free Karmello Anthony. He's not a menace to society. He's not a threat to society. He's got a family base. Regardless of what you think, if you think he's a mem, then that mem, based upon what we're hearing about the case, deserves to be not held in jail. He deserves a reasonable bond, if any, but he should be released from jail immediately so he can attend class and finish his track career.
He's a kid, teenager.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Now he's on campus. Oh, it's going to be tough. All right, stay tuned, because if he does it again, oh, boy. That's what we said about Shittenhouse. Stay tuned for more episodes as we continue to unravel the layers behind athletic genius, cultural influence, and the stories that keep inspiring us all. Till next time, keep the passion alive and these conversations going. We appreciate all the support and enthusiasm for this pod. If you have any more questions or need further information, feel free to reach out to us in the comments, or if you got the digits or whatever. Stay tuned. Stay passionate. As always, bear down. And until next time, Ace.
FGB.
And who? And who?
Fire Ryan Poles.
Yeah. Yeah. FGB and everybody who supports GB. And we mean that personally and professionally. And
sentimentally, mentally, whatever way you want to take it. FGB.
Yeah. From the cradle of our chest. All right, Karen. Karen.
We get Ben Johnson on here to say that one of these weeks. Shout out to Ben Johnson. We got to get you on the show saying FGB.
That's right. FGB. Man, you know, Waddle and Sylvia, I think it was. They had John Gruden on their pod, bro. Yeah, brought out John Gruden. I left a comment. I am now unsubscribing. I know what's in his heart. And I left FGB and FJG. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's tone deaf.
Well, they're trying to sweep all that. They didn't know what was in his heart. They wanted to sweep it all up under the bridge. But, it's all in writing. And the thousands of emails of his racism.
Yeah. But they want to uncancel him and make sure racism is acceptable in America.
Yeah. It's not. F. John Gruden and FGB.
Yeah, you find yourself sliding through. You might be in South Central. Man, another cop chase? You might be in Chirac.
Mouthpiece included.
I'm on 67th Stony, bro. I'm on my way. Better.
Watch out.
Check your blind spot.
Definitely on Stony Island. Don't stop at the gas station.
You better. I'm just going to get some Black and Miles.
No.
You
Not
better.
on Stony.
You better watch your back. Check your 6.
Better guard your grill.
Use the blind spot assist. Guard your grill. Knuckle up.
Don't
forget to.
Don't forget it, baby.
Mouthpiece
Don't forget to bring
For sure.
Guard your grill.